Live.
Let's do it. Are we live yet? Are
Yes.
we live yet?
Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Okay. Stop.
Okay.
Stop. Hey, that is sweet. Ow.
Well, definitely going to die. I got nothing. I'm coming.
I'm David.
Yeah.
I'm David.
Mute these notifications. Do not disturb. The Ariews on the show do not disturb for 4 hours.
Right. I'm also gonna do a view Sherry thing with the Octane group.
The Octane. Oh.
Yeah. Tom Glimpse posted the advertisement for the show the other day. So I'm like, all right. Let's see.
Live.
Yes, we are.
See this.
You're probably on the wrong channel.
Yeah, I don't see it on.
I see it.
See, this is what I do. I go to the youtube.com/Mograph, and then I never see
You gotta hit the home.
it was on home.
It's all
weird.
It's all there. It's working.
See on my hip. Now it's cold.
Go to the Slack. There we go. Tesla rockets first. Hello. Chris H.
Nice.
Impulse. How are ya?
Is that Chris Harkin?
No, that's it.
Chris H. Are you Chris Harkin?
La, 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 la.
Sorry, I'm doing a little extra here. Getting that watch party going. Oh boy.
What's up, Paul?
Okay. All right. Extra long intro there. Hi, everybody. We're getting set up for a show.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
All right. If it turns clear, it's your window to waking.
Here we go again.
I know. Tesla Rock, Chris, Impulse, Ariew, Paul, Ariew.
What's up, everybody?
All right. I think we're good
We
to
recording?
go on a
We're gonna
show.
record.
I'm going to go ahead and start myself here.
Sure.
Dave. This is
we go.
episode 240.
Nice.
So you know
Alright.
it's good. 240
It's almost-
terrible
It's almost
episodes.
420,
What's up, Rocket Force?
Oh man, what are we doing for episode 420?
right? Gotta plan that.
Mhm.
Definitely a Halo stream
Yeah, it'll take us a while.
with lots of
That-
gummies.
That one should be in Vegas. That
Yeah.
would be
Probably.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
Like
that-
specifically fly to Vegas
Should be in
for our
Amsterdam.
421. You know what?
It should be in Amsterdam.
Oh, even better.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
We gotta
Can't.
get that.
If we can get
gotta
a passport.
That, Mograph RV.
Or you could just
first.
come over to my house because
Yeah.
Colorado. It's
That's
legal.
true. That's true. We should,
Yeah,
we
we
should
could
do that.
That's
Mhm.
boring though.
Boring.
Even though you own a McMansion.
McMansion.
Do not.
It's only a
Sorry, there's
McMansion
no-
in Texas.
Yeah. It's only a McMansion if it's I don't know.
Something, something.
Hey everyone. What's
What's
up?
up?
All right. I think we're ready to go. I'm rolling. Are both of you rolling?
Rolling.
Northern Oregon. That's fun. I'm
I'm
rolling.
ready to clap.
Ready for the clap. Here we
Both
go.
of them should be going. Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
You good? All right.
Yep, I'm good.
One,
Clap my
2,
face.
3.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Who's messaging
Couldn't
me?
have been more perfect.
Sounded
Alright.
pretty good, actually.
Why is that? Oh, that's funny.
It's probably something technical.
So apparently the chat still goes on.
Huh?
if you're on pause. That's neat. I like that.
Ooh, that's fancy. You can pull the chat out too if you want, actually.
Oh, I should do that.
Yeah, you can do
Pop out
pop-outs
chat.
so it doesn't mess with your bandwidth and whatnot.
Pop out to chat.
I've just got the
Doop,
chat
doop,
on my
doop,
other
doop,
monitor
doop,
over
doop.
here.
I love that pop-out chat capability. Okay, we're rolling and we have all the things. I think we're ready to go. I think
Got
Nice.
one of my monitors not working right now, and it's driving me crazy not having 3 monitors. As stupid as that is.
First world problems.
Like a poor person.
Yeah.
I have 2 monitors now, like a poor
What's
person.
up, Swaroop? What's up, Gustav?
Oh yeah, Gustav.
All right.
I love that. I love that episode you had with Gustav. It was really good.
His
Yeah, it was.
awesome, inviting office, cozy office. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Ready for everything? You good?
Oh, I gotta
Matt?
think about what
you
how I'm gonna introduce David.
What's up,
Is-
Vicky?
are you going to the mall later?
Are you?
All right.
What's up, Laura?
Laura's,
Oh, Laura's here.
I was
All right.
watching all your skating videos on Instagram.
I was too. Roller skating in a skate
Yeah.
park.
Right?
Yeah, that has bruise all over it. I would be bruised up
Mhm.
like crazy.
Laura is freakishly badass.
Yeah.
She goes to the
Freakishly bad.
Freakishly
freakishly
bad.
badass,
Yeah.
like incomprehensibly badass. She came over and showed all of her pictures of her crazy Tibet trip
I
excursion
know.
to us.
Jealous.
Yeah, it's totally
Yeah,
mind
we'll
blowing.
come to Colorado when we get our Mograph RV.
Yeah, dude.
It's something we're
Sweet.
actually working
Sounds
We're
on.
fun.
we're
It's
gonna
gonna
buy
have a
wrap
RV.
on it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're gonna do
You guys are
meetups
thinking
and
of all
stuff
the
in it.
things. Can it have like a Halo set up in there so
Oh,
we
of
can
course.
just like
Of
cruise
course,
around?
yeah.
It'll have a
Nice.
kitchen
Yeah.
and a fireplace and everything.
Yeah, and we'll be set up for podcasts right there, so we
Mhm.
never have to find a place to do a podcast.
We're gonna have
Nice.
a booth in the
Have
back.
it set up.
We can do
Yeah, yeah.
interviews and stuff.
Yep.
Nice in person, like
In
Joe
person.
Rogan or something.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. All right, here we go. What up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us today, the man who died for your samples, Mr. Octane Jesus himself, Mr. David Ariew.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Matt.
Gonna be a short show.
Yeah.
And lead us not into direct lighting, as somebody
As
pointed out on Twitter. I wish I could give that person
show us
credit.
the path of illumination
Yeah.
to,
Funny.
yeah.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, concerns. I think that's it. That's about it. Email us. Let us know what you
Yes.
want to have on the show. Let us know who you want to have on the show. Topics like
Someone said we needed a really long podcast episode, so to get David Ariew on. So we're
Right,
like, all right,
right.
we'll get David Ariew on.
Mm-hmm.
All your podcast episodes are pretty long lately.
They-
Like there's
yeah.
been so
2
many
hours.
2.5 hour ones.
They're like 2 hours, yeah,
Yeah.
2 to 2.5.
Yeah.
So
What's up, Grant?
Yeah, yeah. I would like to say that coming up on the next couple shows as well, we got a pretty good lineup here. The French Monkey will be on. Finally.
Oh, finally, that's amazing.
Yep.
You get the bandwidth figured out. Jonathan Winbush will be on the week after that, right before Seagraph.
So pumped about that one.
And we've got
Nice.
Rolando Berry, and then after that, we're going to have Smearballs on. Now, some of this is subject to change. We got Smearballs set for August 10th, and now that is my changed closing date for my house. So we may be moving
Oh,
him
man.
back up.
Congrats.
Nice, man.
So,
So it's happening.
Well,
Reals.
hopefully.
Hopefully.
So I think we were going to
happening,
do
yeah.
is take a. I think we were going to take the 3rd. We were going to take August 3rd off, and I'm going to try and move Smearballs to August 3rd instead of August 10th. So just watch the schedule. You can check that out at mograph.com/live. I spend a lot of time setting all that up and putting the promos on and letting everybody know it's coming. And who knows, maybe one person uses it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's helpful.
You gotta
to
get
some.
the corridor crew on here.
I
Yes,
know.
we
You guys
do.
reached out to them at all?
do.
I know. We've talked to them like in
I've
person
talked
a
to
couple
Ren,
times.
you know,
but-
Yeah.
about being on, but I haven't pursued it, you know, actively.
Pursue it.
I
What's
will.
up? Tokyo Megaplex.
Yeah. Maybe David, you could ping him too and be like, hey, Hey, Matt's
Yeah.
hitting you up.
Yeah,
Hey,
I can do that
hey.
for sure. Hey.
Well, we're friends on Facebook right now. That is until I delete my Facebook.
Why are you going to
next
do that?
week.
Because it's so toxic.
Because it is so
Yeah.
toxic.
Yeah.
You know, you can't even say anything. Like, I've gotten rid of all the people that I don't like of my friends, you know.
Yeah.
Now I
me
got
too.
my friends, you know, talking bad to me and like bullying me and stuff. It's like, come on.
Now you
stop.
got your micromanaging your
See,
friends.
You should do it like I do and just accept any
Just
friend
accept
request.
everyone.
So that like the majority of my friends are from India and Russia, and I can't even tell what they're saying.
Oh, it's just
so it's not offensive or upsetting at all.
Yeah, I added so my. You say so may, I say so my.
Nice.
And it's just all just completely just I have no idea what's going on, you know.
Yeah, see, I'm to the point now where I've hidden so many people. See, I just don't like I just don't like people I don't like people to know about my personal life. If they want to know about my personal life, they can ask me in person, you know. And I am very much an open book when it comes to that. But like anything else, no.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that. Just make it so you don't know the language and
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
you're
how I
done.
roll.
You're done.
Okay, so
Now
if
it's
you were
all-
American or you speak English, I will not be your friend.
Right. I won't
Right.
be your friend.
Got rid of everybody, and now I just see advertisements for Yeezy for Preezy.
No.
Come on.
Let's not talk about that because
Cyrus
people will
explained to me
actually-
what Yeezy is yesterday. That it's
Yeah.
it's a brand of Kanye's, right? Shoes. Is that true?
The
Well,
Yeezys,
he is-
yeah, but like
but
he,
he is
the
Yeezy.
He is Yeezy.
For
Okay.
Sheezy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he just refers to himself as Yee. Is it not Yee?
Well, he's Yee for short.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tokyo Megaplex says,
Yeah.
can we talk about how great TikTok is now that Matt and David
Dude,
are on?
I literally send him every weird thing I find.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's all of
funny.
our conversations have just devolved into TikTok videos.
Did you see
Yes.
did you see the Furby one?
No.
The Furby one where someone like sculpted like a naked Furby, you know,
Oh,
and then
God.
put actual Furby parts inside of it. Oh, it was so gross. It was awesome though.
I can't even comprehend what you're saying right now.
Well, yeah, Yeezy for Preezy. What has happened to this world? What parallel universe are we in? Is this the
I'm telling
universe
you,
we came
The
up
wrong
with?
one.
Is
We
this
are in the wrong one.
when we did the year show and we did like the fake future show? Is this why it happened?
I don't think it was this dystopian. It was way more hopeful.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's true. So
The more stuff goes wrong, the more I'm thinking that the Borg were actually right all along.
right.
I'm serious because like if we could all read each other's thoughts, if we all had one collective hive mind,
Yeah.
we could all have empathy for each other and we would know everyone's, feelings.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
You know, the Borg are the good guys. The humans are the bad guys.
I don't know. Have you watched
I'm,
Picard
gonna go
yet?
I'm going out on a limb and saying the Borg
Individuality is overrated. We should all just have.
individuality is overrated.
Let's just have a collective mind.
Mhm. I, for one, welcome our new overlords. All right. So,
Being Kanye.
yeah. Yeah. So, we've got a new podcast on our network. We have been wanting to kind of get some more shows on the Mograph network. And so our first one is here. It's
We're
here.
pumped about it. I'm so pumped about it because this is one of my favorite podcasts.
The Go Guerilla Filmcast has joined our network, so we got a little promo piece here we want to show. So check this out right here.
Hi, my name is Sashia Dumont. I'm a writer, actor, and filmmaker.
Hi, my name is Paul Robinson. I'm a director, DP, and filmmaker. We are the creators and hosts of the Go Guerilla Filmcast, an online source for all things indie film.
We are a husband and wife film team and co-owners of Send 3 Productions, and we started this podcast for filmmakers like ourselves who were producing on micro budgets with skeleton crews.
Go Guerilla is a weekly podcast that features various talents in TV, film, and web series productions.
We've interviewed filmmaker powerhouses like Kestrin Pantera,
Richard Raymond,
Alex Ferrari,
Cassandra Ebner,
and Ryan Connolly. Amazing actors like Hannah Ward,
Lou Taylor Pucci,
Chris Wataski,
and Eileen Gruba,
groundbreaking cinematographers like Jody Lee Lipes.
and Jessica Lee Gagné, and many more.
We also offer weekly reviews of our favorite films and shows, which vary from low-budget first-time filmmakers to A-listers and everyone in between. Go Guerilla is proud to announce that we have officially joined the Mograph Podcast Network.
So if you love filmmaking as much as we do,
Tune in every Sunday for a new episode of the Go Guerilla Filmcast, your source for all things indie film. Now available on the Mograph Podcast Network.
We love film.
Yeah, that was awesome, Paul. That was way more effort than I would ever put into any of my videos.
Well, he's getting into the motion graphics, so he actually launched a teaser of something that he's working on, and I'll put that in the show notes as well. It's called Bot. Is that right? Yeah, it's called Bot. And he just put up a YouTube video with a little teaser of that. And what's the story? Do we know the story yet, or is it just kind of a is it all secret right now? Let's see. I'll show you here. So this is the YouTube video. I'll put this in the show notes. He's getting into the octanes
so well done,
and the
dude.
Hell yeah.
So well done.
Looks really great.
Yeah, so check that out. Check out the new show. And
looks like you used some mega scans, maybe some real displacement textures.
Ooh wee.
Ooh wee.
Ooh wee. So check that out. Check out Go Guerilla Filmcast. I'm excited to listen and learn more about film because I am dumb when it comes to film.
You know, and this is the thing. Like when we had, oh man, I forget his name. It was a few weeks ago. Did the Stranger Things. I'm blanking.
Eric?
Yeah. When we had Eric on, it was I mentioned a couple times that it was so exciting to have like a filmmaker on because it's so different than kind of what we do. As it's why I'm really excited to have the Go Guerilla Filmcast, part of the network is because it's similar in what we do, but it's also, very different, and
it shouldn't be that different from what we do though. If we study filmmaking stuff, we'll be way better at
but none of us
design.
does that except you.
Except me, and that's why I'm releasing a course on it.
Ooh wee. Dude, I gotta say, like, that's something that's really exciting because learning about camera shots and why certain camera shots mean certain things and doing things certain ways, like it's so great when it comes to building 3D. People forget about that, so
totally
that's going to be super cool to see.
Yeah man.
By the way, 1917, holy crap.
Oh dude, did you watch it after you saw my breakdown on it?
I did.
Is it a movie?
Oh
yeah, dude.
My.
So it's the best movie like I've seen in probably a year. It's so freaking good.
I mean, you got to be.
You won the Academy Award. How do you not know this?
You have to be in the mood to watch.
Did they do the Academy Awards this year?
Yeah. That was before.
Oh, I don't know.
That was BC.
Oh.
Before Corona.
Before Corona?
Yeah.
Before Corona.
So.
That's funny.
1917, like, you have to be in the mood to watch a war movie. Right? You got to be in the mood to watch a war movie.
Yeah, but it's unlike any other war movie because it's one take and it puts you right there with the characters and yeah.
Now I want to know if it was real. I mean, I know it probably wasn't actually one take, but
no, it wasn't actually. There were tons of invisible cuts, but it feels like one take. So you're there like throughout you're in the same timeline with them. There's no jumping forward in time unless there's like one point where he gets knocked out. Spoilers, but. So the time kind of jumps forward to the night.
I love that you
that's
said
the only
spoilers
time.
after you gave
the
spoiler away.
I mean,
it's not
that
much
doesn't
of a
really
spoiler. Like that's not a big spoiler. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. Well, okay, so the scene when and this really won't spoil anything, but the scene where it's at night and there's all these ruined, like bombed out buildings and structures, and the flares are going off everywhere.
Oh, it's so cool.
Oh my god.
One of my favorite lighting moments in film because Roger Deakins is just the most genius DP ever, and he won the Academy Award for this. And he's like sending up flares and all these lighting rigs to have the light kind of moving in the shot. It looks like something someone would do in Octane because like you animate the sun or something.
Yeah, it looks like a render.
Yeah, but it looks way better because it's real.
It's so good. It's so good. And like he leans up against this wall and you see this old poster. It was just perfectly framed and like God, it's so good. It's so good. And I was picking up on so many things that you talked about when you were breaking it down and just
Sweet.
it's just man, I have not sat and just really enjoyed something so cinematic in so long. It's been all like
Definitely.
Netflix BS.
Right,
You know,
right,
Netflix, Hulu, blah, blah,
Eurovision.
blah. Yeah, Eurovision.
Warrior 9. Warrior 9.
This is one where you go in and you turn all the lights off and you like set the HDR to dark mode so you get like the rich blacks
Oh,
in the
yeah.
picture and like
Totally.
you just gummy out and watch the whole thing and you know
Gummy
so
out.
good. So good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we all like passively watch content, especially when we get into the story and we don't think
Yeah.
to look specifically at the lighting or the color or the edits or the camera movement. And so, yeah, just doing that, teaches you so much. And like when I was downloading all of these, films and watching through them, it taught me like so much just by doing that. So I'm like learning as I'm making this course by doing research, and it's interesting to see all the trends. Like there's so many camera moves that are favorites in blockbuster movies, that are just kind of copy pasted, but the reason is that they work. Like
Yeah.
they're really solid,
I mean, there's only so many camera moves you can do,
Yeah.
Up,
That's
down,
true,
Up,
forward,
down,
up,
left,
down,
right.
left, right, forward. That's it.
all the directions.
All the directions.
So it's makes me want to apply these techniques though to something that I'm doing. The problem is I feel so burnt out in quarantine. I feel like I have zero imagination left in my body right now. I have drained of creativity.
Yeah, you're trying so hard just to stay sane, all cooped up that you can't focus on anything else. Your body just whatever.
Because I want to create something. I want to use some of these things that I've learned. I want to go through and do something that actually means something. It's like I don't want to just goof around and put some spheres on a plane and call it a day. Person for scale, astronaut model for scale. Like I literally like I have nothing to talk about. And I was running yesterday and I was thinking about that, and it's like it's part of like going to meetups, it's part of getting out, it's part of just going out and going on vacation or doing things with people. Like it keeps the variety in your life, and when every day is Groundhog Day, you have
I hate the Groundhog Day thing going on. Like this weekend was so different for me though, because Chelsea and I finally like went over to see EJ, and EJ actually threw like a small party. It was like 10 people, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, this is the hugest crowd we've ever been in, and for like
in a long time,
6 months or something."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corona
now
party.
all of you come
now.
away with coronavirus.
right.
Was anyone wearing masks?
No, we were not wearing masks, and I hugged EJ and I hugged people and gave them Corona hugs because you know what? Sometimes you just got to be human and take like a calculated risk, and like. Yeah, we've all
Taking
been
one
in
for the
quarantine
team.
this whole time. None of us are sick. Like, none of us have coronavirus.
Yeah.
I don't think anything bad's going to happen. Like, hopefully this will just be like, okay, we had a hangout. Nothing bad happened.
I
Like,
heard
I've
it'll
seen
just
a few
disappear.
friends. Yeah.
Matt,
I got
Matt
my
got
official
confirmed.
diagnosis
I know.
back that I am
Yeah.
positive for coronavirus antibodies. I
I'm
gave
pretty
blood
sure.
a week and a half ago or something, and it came
Yeah.
back that it was positive, and I was so pumped for it.
I'm tempted
then-
to get that test because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we had it in January. Like, I had a
Yeah.
cough
You
for
should.
like 3 or 4
I think
weeks.
you should. Like, and here's the
Mhm.
thing: if you want a free coronavirus antibody test,
Give blood.
Yeah,
go
you
give
donate
blood
blood.
at the
Yeah.
Red Cross. The Red
Mhm.
Cross will do a free antibody test, and it's awesome. Like you can download the app. Hold on, let me find out what the app is called. You can download
help
the
you
app.
find it.
It's called Blood Donor. It's just like a little drop of blood, and it'll allow you to like make an appointment, whatever, and it'll give you an update, on the whether you've got the antibodies,
Mhm.
And I was so excited. I posted it on Facebook, and everyone's like, "No, you don't have an immunity."
Well, it's
All right.
it's debatable. That's why
If
nobody
anyone,
knows
anyone
yet.
who's taken a basic biology course knows that
Yeah.
that's the way it works.
I mean, unless
you
it's
know?
mutated to a new strain.
Right.
Or something,
unless it's
but-
mutated to
Yeah,
a new strain
that's the
or
concern.
whatever. But
Yeah.
still, and I understand, there's a chance I could still get sick, but there's probably less of a chance that I'll get sick versus anyone else.
I agree.
You know?
Right.
Anyway,
so
So-
we're gonna do some game streaming, not on Mograph, this
speaking
week.
of game streaming,
So we play Halo offline all the time, not on the air. So
Yeah.
we're like, why not try it on the air? So we're gonna
Show off
do
our
that.
sweet Halo skills.
Yeah, that's gonna
oh
be
man,
on.
y'all just watch me die the whole time.
Right.
I just hit diamond rank. Yeah.
Yeah. We had one particularly really bad day. I think you were on with us, David, the other day. No, or maybe it was Cameron, but we played like, I don't know, 6 games in one night and lost all of them but one. And I got like obliterated
no.
back down to gold 5 or something like
Oh,
that.
that sucks.
So we're going to play on the air and it will
Wait,
not.
so you can go down in rank?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, if you
Yeah.
lose a
Man,
bunch
see,
of times.
that's what I need to do. I need to go and I need to play, and I need to do terribly for like.
So that you can go down in rank and
Yeah,
feel better
exactly.
about yourself by
Yeah.
honing noobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just play
Yeah,
social
because-
if you want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Social's a mixed bag. Sometimes
It
it's
is.
actually really good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motion Process is here. What's up, Motion Process?
So is Martin. Martin is calling me Octane tutorial because I was on this stream with Fabio judging renders, and someone was like, "Oh my God, Octane tutorial is here."
Octane tutorial? That's funny.
So that's my new name.
Mograph Mutator. That is a good plugin name. Mograph Mutator. It just corrupts your files on purpose.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like something Merc would make.
Yeah,
Right.
it does.
Mograph mutator.
Mograph
So
Mutator.
Dave and I bought these like
Yeah.
little. By the way,
Yeah.
so now like I guess China has had a chance to catch up,
Right.
you know,
You're right.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So now you can actually get some of these Elgato Stream Decks and like the 4K capture cards and stuff.
cheap.
So we were able to for cheap. Yeah, we were able to find a couple of these 4K capture cards.
They're no longer
for, like,
$500.
Nice.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
So like we bought 2 of them. We each bought one, and it's cool because it's got a splitter. So one will go into your like your Xbox or your Switch or something like that, and then the other one will go to like a monitor so that you can actually.
Well,
play
we
it in
started
real
with
time. It's
2.
really
See,
cool.
we started with these. This is the
Yeah.
HDMI video capture. It's just super generic. There's like everybody has their own brand name on it, but it's just
And it actually, I mean, that one worked really well.
It does.
surprisingly.
It does, but there's no loop through, so you get
Right.
so you don't see it until it's been converted to your screen, and you can't play
Yeah,
with
you
a
get
lag like
you get
that.
a serious lag.
Yeah, it's terrible lag. And then the other one, so this is the one we got. This is now the other one I just showed that will accept 4K, but it only puts out like HD 30K
Yeah.
or 30p. This and it's USB 2. This is USB 3. This is a 4K. Now this one, the small one I showed was only $35, but this is like $65-$70. But the
Yeah,
nice
it's
thing
expensive.
is that you have HDMI in and out, so you can loop through onto a monitor so that you can
Yeah.
pwn noobs in real time while,
Yeah.
while simultaneously streaming. It looks like it has a mic and a headphone jack and everything. But
Yeah, if you were wanting to do a,
$75.
yeah, it's not bad,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so all that just to be able to stream our games.
Yeah.
And you know, Dave's been teaching me OBS
Yeah.
and all this streaming stuff, and
OBS is cool.
dude,
Yeah.
We've
Like-
been using that for School of Motion capture instead of. I was familiar with Camtasia, but OBS is definitely cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
For
yeah,
free,
It's more
yeah.
simple.
yeah,
and like
it's
Camtasia,
very
and it's
simple.
free.
Yeah.
And like Camtasia has the whole like timeline and all that crap, but you don't need that because like
Right.
you just
Yeah.
record and then you edit in Premiere. Like that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
already what
Yeah.
I was doing. So
Are
yeah.
you doing the technique where you record super wide? You record your camera and the screen all in one big super wide thing, and then you chop it
No.
up when you're. Oh, okay.
No.
We've been
Just
messing
recording the
with that.
screen. Like the on-camera stuff for School of Motion is going to be all DSLR, like with lights and
Gotcha,
standing
gotcha.
up and addressing the camera. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. It's gonna be on Matt's channel for now. So I guess
Yeah.
maybe we'll tweet it out if we're doing it or something. But we're gonna play Halo. But I think also my daughter's gonna hop on at one point and play Animal Crossing with Matt.
Yeah.
So anybody into
Nice.
Animal Crossing, I mean,
You
See,
also play
honestly,
some
I should just
Rocket
have
League.
I should have her play with Gibson because Gibson's more
that
into
would be
the-
hilarious.
See, I maxed out. Like I got like 14 million bells, you know, and it's
All
like
the bells.
I got all the bells. I don't need anything else, you know. I've already
I
created.
wish that's
my-
how billionaires or multimillionaires
Right.
would act in our country. Like I have enough now.
Yeah.
Let
Right.
me give to people
Yeah.
at this point. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's funny. Like Beeple came over to my island, and I just like I gave him 1,000,000 bells.
That's awesome.
You know? and then like my dad came over. I just give him 1,000,000 bells. It's
Nice.
like just throwing away money here and there because I don't care.
It's from all them turnips on the stock exchange.
You know it. Turnip exchange.
Turnip exchange.
Turnip.exchange. If y'all don't know about it,
Oh,
dude.
my goodness.
That's how you make your money. And I was talking to Mike. I was talking to people the other day, and I was like, he's like, dude, I
Virtual
totally
money.
lost. He's like, I totally lost my ass on this. I bought him for like 120, and I sold him for 100. I was like, okay. I was like, dude, turnip.exchange, and he's like, nah, dude, that's like cheating. I was like, no, that's the way they built the game so that you can go to someone else's island and sell them for a higher price. You know? He's like, nah. I was talking to my wife about it. She's like, nah, that's totally cheating. Like, okay, dude.
That's so much fictional work.
Right?
Yeah. To me, it's like Minecraft or something. I'm already building things in C4E.
Right.
I don't need like that kind of a life work simulator or creativity simulator. We're already being creative, so I don't know.
It is a life simulator, but I was thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, why do people like this so much? It's because nobody right now can go do any of those
Get
things.
out
They
of their
can't go to
house.
the beach. They can't go make a cool
Yeah.
little office and set it up with
Uh-huh.
all their stuff and color coordinate
And the
it.
economy is sucking, so none of us can actually improve our house right now.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I spent my whole stimulus check on improving my house.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah.
I spent it on kitties.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
how are your kitties, by the
They're
way?
adorable. They're growing big and, wrecking our life like they do
Yeah.
and being crazy. And like last night there was a moth in our room and the cat just goes like like doing this weird like
Oh, that
chattering with
weird-
his teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that weird thing that they do.
What
It's
are their
crazy
names
eyes.
again?
Moon and Star.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. They're adorable.
Yeah, the one video that you posted with the
Oh, Chelsea posted it.
Chelsea posted it with the
The cat with his head in a,
was
in a
it
tissue
Moon?
box.
I guess it was Moon.
It was Moon.
Right?
It was Moon with his head in a tissue box. Yep.
Yeah. It's good entertainment to be in quarantine and at least have some cats.
Oh, totally. Yeah, they're very entertaining and they keep us on our toes. We're constantly like, get down, get off the table.
No, kitty, that's a bad kitty.
No, that bad kitty.
It's my pot pie.
Yeah, basically we have to guard our food. So they're like dogs right now.
Dude.
Are
Yeah.
they doing the
Dogs
thing?
that leap upwards.
Do they do that asshole kitty thing where they push things off the counter
Oh
or
yeah,
the table?
dude, my headphones. I'm like, I keep finding them on the floor.
Oh.
And then like their newest favorite thing is in my bathroom. I've got a towel hung up. Every day I walk in and the towel's on the ground. Like just pull it down. Like they're
Do you have-
chaos makers.
What
They're like,
kind
let's
of
wreck your shit.
door handles do you have in your house? Are they the push down ones?
Yeah, they're like the flat.
Just wait until they start opening your
Oh,
doors.
God.
That's
I
the
don't know.
Oh
worst.
jeez.
Yeah.
Like you're in bed and you've got
Mhm.
your door shut, then all of a sudden it's to try and get in your room.
It's like a bad
They
horror
they
movie.
would have to jump pretty high to get that though. Oh, there's Davis showing Moon with the tissue box.
This is
on his head.
awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, they're cute.
Oh man.
they're adorable. Yeah. They're hard to tell apart sometimes because they're brothers.
How do you
They
tell
look
apart?
very, very
The
similar.
striping?
Moon has a little bullseye on his head. That's the best way, and he's got this weird shaped M on his back, so it's very appropriate. And also, Moon is kind of the grump cat. He's like less affectionate, and he's got the kind of grumpy cat face sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Whereas Star is like much more of an explorer and free spirit and comes and cuddles. Whereas Moon's like, don't fucking touch me.
That's right.
Don't touch me. I need my space.
Yeah, not Node or RTX.
Yeah.
So we were suggesting all sorts of like
I know.
Rick and Morty and
Yeah.
all of
Yeah,
that
see,
stuff.
but I'm not the one that like there were Chelsea's greatest want in life, so she got to name
She
them.
never had
We were-
cats before?
She had cats when she was pretty young. They were named Mama Kitty and Baby Fat. Because Baby
Okay.
Fat was a total idiot and
Uh-huh.
Mama Kitty was badass. But no, I don't know. I think she had some bad experiences, like where she moved into one house and she didn't realize that they had like put like air fresheners everywhere and didn't realize that it smelled like horrible cat piss. So for months and months, she was like just trying to get the cat piss smell out, and she never did. So like, yeah, cats can wreck your house if they're not
Yeah.
trained.
Oh, yeah.
Or if
Yeah.
you're irresponsible. So those kind of bad experiences, but they're way less high maintenance than dogs,
I
and these
have-
two are
Yeah.
already like litter box trained and super chill.
Yeah.
I have my litter box out in the garage.
Oh,
and
nice.
I cut.
That's where you go
a
to
hole.
the litter box.
Yeah,
That's where you
I
go. Yeah.
No, I cut a hole in and
the door.
put in a cat door. You know,
That's pretty
to
smart.
Our
We should do
thing.
that. 'Cause
You should.
I don't like
It's
having
great.
a litter box in
The-
my bathroom.
Yeah.
The problem,
Yeah, that
the-
sucks.
The main problem with it, the only problem is you forget that it exists, so you
Oh, and then
sometimes
it
forget
gets
to clean it
blown
out.
up.
Yeah. So that's the only problem.
Also, the other thing we have is we've got flushable litter, so it's easy to
that's
just
good.
do it. Put it right into the toilet right there.
Yeah.
So if it's in the garage, you got to carry it every time.
Mhm.
No, you just throw it in the trash in the dumpster.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Flushable litter is nice though.
My
Yeah.
cat's
Like, cats don't like it when their litter boxes get super dirty. Like
Oh.
they like stop using the box, so
Mhm.
that's
Oh,
kind
I
of
know.
like danger zone.
Yeah.
So like that's why I don't think you don't want to just have to throw it in the trash constantly. That's like a waste of money and also more effort and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, you can teach your cats how to go to the bathroom on the toilet.
In the toilet.
Yeah,
That's
Chelsea
next
thought
level.
about it. Yeah. I think it's a huge hassle though. And, could be
Yeah.
potentially very
Yeah,
messy.
and then they just leave turds because they don't know how to
Right, flush it.
Right.
flush
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, whatever.
That's true. Yeah.
That's funny.
Star fetches though, he's really cute.
Yeah.
He constantly he'll bring the mouse up to your leg and then drop it on you and use it as an excuse to attack your leg until you throw it for him.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, I don't know if I can pull up this video or not, but if I can get it, let's see. Oh yeah, I actually can get it here. So, yesterday was, I was bored but not bored. It's quarantine bored, right? Like I've got stuff to do, but
Bored in the house, send them in the house bored.
So what I decided is I'm just going to start looking into virtual production stuff on Unreal and just see what's out there, found a couple tutorials and whatnot on how to do stuff. And just to get the thing moving, I wanted to know, how are people getting the motion part in there? And a lot of people are using controllers for various things. And I figured out actually how to use the Steam VR interface rather than the one that's built into Unreal, and bring the Steam VR controls into Unreal and attach it to a camera and just mess around with moving around a scene, seeing how it works, stuff like that. And I gotta say, even in doing so, it gave me such a better understanding of how Blueprint works, because it feels like espresso when you're in Cinema 4D, and I feel like I'm getting a better handle on that now. So I played with some stuff. I just set up a simple scene, and it worked pretty well. I mean, I think
You
there's
gonna
some
show it?
there's some scaling things that I have to figure out, But other than that, I'll see if I can get it working. I think I don't know.
And how long did it take you to do this?
I don't
just
know.
playing around.
I spent an hour getting to this point.
That's
See,
super cool.
the scale thing is an
Yeah.
issue because I'm technically my camera.
Yeah, you're moving back further than what it's doing there.
Well, my camera in the scene is too close, if that makes sense.
yeah.
It doesn't match what's going on in the world, but that's just because I have the position and scale off. But
Yeah.
I got that somewhat working, so it's at least moving around, and it's just using an Oculus Rift controller. So that's step one, right? As a complete noob, that's step one. And so I'm like, all right, well, now how do I make this look better? How can I put this on a screen? How could I integrate this? For me, I'm not going to be using LED walls like a lot of people are using. I'm going to be using a green screen. So it's like, what do you do? Do you take the camera track after that, and do you output the camera track to something you could use in Cinema 4D, and then or in After Effects and put a plate on it? How do you go about doing that? So that's my first stage in learning this stuff. So I don't know, maybe I can combine all of these things together and do a tutorial or something on how to get started if you're complete noob and
Yeah, that'd be cool.
want to do this. So
Did you see this article that I posted on Jon Favreau's virtual cinematography stuff for The Lion King?
I
don't
did
think
not.
so. I didn't see it.
Putting in the chat right now. But it's just really cool. It's like you know, they used like actual drone pilots and dolly grips and whatnot on this stage to get like more organic movements, because you get kind of unexpected things like the drone will drift around with a certain inertia that you couldn't get while animating, like, you know, so they don't trust animators to recreate it in the exact way.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's pretty crazy. Even though it's a full CG production, they wanted this very documentary quality, so they had like real DPs doing this virtual shooting. It's pretty interesting. Kind of makes me sad because I don't want to like have to put in that level of effort. Like I prefer to just animate shit, you know?
Right.
I don't want them to take my gerb.
I feel like maybe that could be a gerbs. I think there's maybe you could do like could you sell these as like generic camera moves, like generic real camera moves? There's a $1 million idea right there.
That's I don't like that preset idea, because every shot needs its own path through that environment. You can't just make a preset camera move. Like,
maybe it's something
to
you
some
can
degree
mix.
you can. To some degree you can. You could be like, okay, here's the classic, like we're dollying forward and tilting up. But that's just I would rather just teach people and empower people to do that themselves.
Plus, it's not that hard to do
No.
You know,
it's just like basic keyframing.
dolly forward, tilt up.
Yeah.
You know, up, down, left, and right.
Up, down, left, right. That's all you need.
That's all you need. You're good to go.
Joystick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Quickly, I thought I could throw in a Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
I knew you'd do it. I knew you'd do it.
I thought you'd do it with me though. It's more beautiful.
Yeah, but
it was,
normally we do.
Oh, I
but
see.
I wanted to see if you would actually do it.
Oh,
So-
okay. Well, okay, take two. Let's do some Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What?
You're supposed to do it too.
with me. Stop it.
Ravcock, what's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
Oh, yeah, just like old times. So,
Oh man, that was good. That was good.
I just
Good
wanted
times.
to quickly talk about this Windows 10 2004 GPU scheduling thing.
Mm-hmm.
You heard about this? Apparently,
Something, yeah.
Are they gonna give us more VRAM finally? No.
that's.
I think the update did actually give you more VRAM.
Oh,
It either
shit.
gave us more VRAM or took more away.
Well,
I
it's
don't
the
know.
scheduling. So apparently, what it's doing is it's allowing the card itself to have more control over its memory management than Windows. That's what I
cool.
take from it. But the thing is, some people actually have had issues with FPS in games and stuff like that until they turn this scheduler on. Apparently, it's helping. I don't know. I'll put a link to that so you can check it out. I'm always so cautious about doing updates and changing driver settings, and you know something's gonna break, right? Something's always gonna break.
Yeah. I just update it whenever there's an update.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
That's what I do.
I've got a sort of another what's your flavor here. So did you guys see the Embergen FX thing that Otoy is releasing part Gen as well?
So
Yes.
That looks really cool.
Yeah, the particle thing.
I mean, it's hard to imagine not using X particles, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
if this is all GPU in real time, then yeah, looks awesome.
Yeah.
It said X particles
Yeah.
going GPU.
Right? They need to get on that. Like they said they were, like I talked to them like maybe a year or two ago, and they said that that's definitely on the docket, but
That'll be a game
you know,
changer.
it's just taking forever to implement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing in Ravcock and the Octane world, of course, is this new Deadmau5 video.
Ooh, yeah.
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 The
Yeah, I
pomegranate.
mean, in between my School of Motion stuff, I worked for 5 weekends on it doing just the environments and stuff. But Nick took them and spruced them up further, because there were things like there was one that's a PCH, like Pacific Coast Highway look, but I didn't know like exactly, like I knew he was gonna add like crazy characters and like
Like you
teeth
do.
and whatever like he does.
Yeah.
So I just like made it look good, and then he took it to the Smearballs level of good.
Yeah.
Right.
But I almost feel bad because I didn't realize, but he worked on this thing for over 750 hours in just like a month and a half or something.
Man.
And I worked on it for like 80, but I still charged my full rate and probably ended up taking like a fifth or a fourth of the budget. So I kind of feel bad. Yeah. I mean,
It's-
that's
We'll
like-
ask him about it in a few weeks.
Yeah, just be
Yeah.
like, are you pissed at David?
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be on in a few weeks, and we can talk about it in more detail. But I did want to bring it up because it's just ridiculously good. And
it's so much detail in there.
I'm curious if like he had the idea to add more of the the characters, or whether that was Joel's idea.
Mhm.
It was all him. I mean, like yeah, I think Joel's just like cool with whatever. He's just super chill.
Yeah,
like
he
you
does
guys
seem like-
remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the character work he does
Because
is absolutely insane.
what I see the characters, and I'm looking at that, and I'm like, oh, that's good marketing right there. You can make more toys and stuff of each of those characters.
I think they're
Right.
reuse them, and there are even a bunch of characters that didn't make the cut. He made so many characters that he wasn't able to pack them all in. Yeah.
He's talking about that on Slack. He's like, there's like 1 million characters, and I didn't even use all of them. He also put a video out there. It's behind the scenes, which is
yeah, super fun. So did you guys hear how he bricked Deadmau5's render farm?
Okay,
No.
I heard him, or I think it was on a Slack. He said
said in the
something
interview.
happened there. Oh, it was in the interview.
okay.
That's right. And it was there's a Rolling Stone article on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So he borrowed the render farm to get the video rendered, and packed it into his truck. And once he got it up and running, he was getting all these CUDA errors, right? And so he was troubleshooting and realized that the BIOS hadn't been updated since 2014 or something.
No.
So he was like, I'll try updating that.
Oh no.
Not realizing that it's this proprietary BIOS. And Matt, you're just looking so stressed.
Oh god.
God.
Anything?
And
You say as soon as you said BIOS, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when he updated it, the whole thing wouldn't start. So he has to call Joel at 4 a.m. and be like, so the farm won't turn on because I updated the BIOS.
Oh my god.
And Joel's like, oh, it's no big deal, man, because you backed up the BIOS, right? And Nick is like,
yes.
no. So he's like dying of stress for 24 hours. I think he posted that like his wife was just like, I've never seen you that white, like that pale and freaked out. So yeah, like just the worst nightmare. But eventually he got a copy of the bot. He messaged all his friends and did all this Hackerman stuff that I don't understand, and then got a copy from the manufacturer or something, and finally got it working again. But yeah, that's just such a nightmare scenario. But it worked better after he got the newer
really
BIOS. Yeah,
blessing
he
in
fixed a lot of it.
disguise.
But yeah, blessing in disguise. But yeah, it just reminds me of my DIT days when I was terrified that I'd delete a day's worth of footage or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I after the fact for years I would literally have nightmares that, oh shit, I just deleted day 2 of footage. Everyone's gonna hate me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that happen.
$1,000 down the drain.
I had something like that happen. So it was skeleton crew. I had to mic someone up and then run all the way across this field, to get to my camera and hit record so I could catch it on time. And I mic'd him up and I got it all ready and I ran all the way across and I got behind my camera and then everything started and I was like, okay, cool. And then I look up and I'm not recording.
Oh no.
I was like, oh shit. So I started recording immediately. But your
that
stomach
feeling.
just drops. You're like,
yeah, I
just
hate
lost
that.
it,
It's the worst.
I don't
I bet you guys have
understand.
dealt with it a lot more with the live events and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just what can go wrong.
The hard parts are when things aren't working for you correctly, and you've only got a day to figure it out. Dave especially,
man.
there's the first NAB where we started running the stuff.
All the new gear.
All the new stuff was just not working, and so we had to figure it out. And Dave was up there till all late crazy hours.
Damn.
That's the worst feeling.
But y'all wouldn't have noticed.
No, I
Right.
can't believe you guys partied so hard with us and ran all that shit. That's just
And did interview stuff on the side.
And interviews.
And did interviews. Yeah.
You just don't sleep when you do that stuff.
You don't. You just run
Yeah.
yourself ragged
Yeah.
and sleep for 3 days when you get back.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
It's
But-
fine. It's perfectly fine.
I don't understand why Joel has those. What are they? What are they? GP100s? What are the cards
Yeah, I
in
don't
them?
know. They're P1000s.
P1000. The
yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I don't know
cards.
because you could get a much better render farm for that same amount of money. But
Yeah.
maybe he's just whatever. I've got the
Yep,
dead
does
mouse money, and
NVIDIA just give
Right.
it to him. I mean,
Maybe.
they probably just
that
give
might
it
be
to him,
true.
Yeah.
I mean, I think once you're, I would assume once you're of that caliber and have that much influence.
Isn't it weird how
You know?
the more famous you are, the more people give you shit for free?
Right.
It's true.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, it's funny because, like, I'm not saying we're famous, but the more
Right.
people knew us on the podcast,
Yeah.
the more free plugins we got.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I mean, like, Beeple
That's
gets
true.
his free Turbo Squid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm famous by any means, but like I've had a small taste of it with like Real Displacement Textures gave me their whole site,
Yeah.
for free. And then like Joran from the Pixel Lab just hit me up and was like, dude, just want to say you've been awesome to the community. And so if you want anything from my site for free, I'm
Yeah.
like, no, dude, like, no, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
seriously. like, yeah. Yeah. I'm
I mean,
like,
and that's
he's
the thing,
already
like,
like
anytime
contributing to my course.
We do courses or, we do plugins or something. We always give them out to our friends. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Give them a course, give them a plug-in.
Yeah, you
And-
guys gave me
yeah.
the stop being afraid of Houdini for free. So
Yeah,
many
yeah.
so many perks.
Yeah. You too can watch
Or, like,
Houdini
you can just be
tutorials for
like-
40 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Like Aaron Sorensen, I had to do like a little
Yeah.
testimonial for
Yep.
him, but he gave me his whole course for free. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
he
great.
gave us the
He
course
gave
as
it to
well
us,
for free.
and I get updates every week about how I haven't
Update.
finished
Oh,
it
me
yet.
too. How
Oh,
you
I've
haven't
done
done it.
0%.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
watched
took
the
a
whole thing.
screenshot of it and I sent it to him the other day, and I was like,
feel so
"Hey, thanks
bad.
for the weekly reminder."
Yeah.
Right. Your course does weekly reminders too, though. Too.
It does,
Right?
Yeah, it's on
yeah.
the same platform.
Yeah, unless you finish it. If you finish it, you don't get any reminders.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
But I started a second account just to test it because I wanted to see what information you got whenever you bought a course. Like, does it give you, all the like the invoice number and blah blah blah, or PO or whatever. And so I bought it for $1 under a new name, Farts McGee. So
Yeah.
every
Nice.
week, Farts McGee gets
Yeah.
a email saying that I've done 0% of the course.
Yeah, I was running the
Yep.
books and I was looking through the different people who purchased, and I'm like, Farts McGee, who's this?
Who's that?
He paid how did he pay $1 for this course? Oh,
Oh.
Anything doing with any name involving farts or butts is almost always me.
yes.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Grayson has
Yeah.
any chance of Houdini course discount ever? Not
Winky face.
Not at the moment. We don't have any plans for that. However, we have some things in the works that would allow you to indirectly get a discount eventually.
Yeah.
But that's not a right now thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was I gonna- I was
Chris
gonna
Chris
say-
asks, how did I get on with the process of motion? That's a really, really good course by Daniel Danielson. And
Oh, yeah.
the first half is like all theory and how to manage clients and organize and do the structure stuff, all the things I'm really bad at. And like after the first half, I was like, okay, that was really good, but I think I'm still going to be lazy and not apply any of it. And then the second half, this is the $400 version. He goes through this insane project where he makes this Icelandic volcano, and he has these extremely realistic client calls, which are actually with his friend, but they seem so freaking real, like where they're condensing the timeline and pushing back and doing all these things, and he's got to like rejigger everything, and it just feels so real. And so he takes all those things that you've learned the first half and applies it. So yeah, I just thought it was like one of the best, like the best course on client interaction and the whole process and how to be organized and like really have your shit together when you're working with clients. I still haven't implemented very much from it, but it's like that's the gold standard, I feel.
Yeah, I think that's somebody we need to get on the show, actually. Daniel.
Yeah.
What's your last name, Daniel?
Danielson.
Danielson.
Yep.
That's not
Yeah,
a real
yeah.
name.
I'm sure he'd love to promote that course some more as well.
Yeah, I definitely would like to check that out. And along the same lines on the course that I'm working on right now, Matt, I haven't even told you this. What I'm going to do is for some of the more advanced streaming techniques in my course is I'm going to get some people on Skype in a phone call and show what a live switch would look like with someone
Oh,
producing.
cool.
in the
That's a great
background.
idea.
Yeah.
That's a super good idea.
So-
Oh, man, it would be cool to maybe show off the Maxon live stream.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very
Wonder if you
similar
could do
to
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this will be kind of it's going to be fake. It's not going to be a real scenario, but it will be like, here's how you queue people
Right.
up, here's how you call while something else is going, and all the
Yeah.
behind the scenes stuff
Because
that you would want to know.
what everyone else doesn't hear or know is that Dave is actually able to talk to everyone on the Maxon live stream, like at that moment.
Right.
They all hear him,
Yeah.
even though the live stream doesn't hear him.
Yeah, so if
Nice.
Matthias is talking to somebody, I could just be like, Baba Booey, Baba Booey. You know,
Totally screw 'em up.
yeah, just mess with them. Yeah.
Speaking of courses, I've got one coming out hopefully in a few weeks. I did it back in February. I don't know what they're actually going to call it. It's for Grayscale Guerilla, and I've been calling it the GSG Octane Speedrun because it's it's kind of an intro to Octane. It's a 5-hour Octane course, but it has a bunch of tips as well for more experienced people, like creating car shaders and lots of like subsurface scattering materials.
Nice.
And some stuff on the new Octane features like vertex displacement, like and creating a realistic Earth and Moon surface and stuff like that. So yeah, that's hopefully going to be out, you know, in a few weeks. I'm not really sure. They kind of got set back by Corona. They were going to release it in April during NAB, but now they're like redesigning their whole site, I think. And so yeah, I think they're waiting for that to drop it. But it's funny that like, you know, it's like supposed to be this new course, but then Octane, of course, like releases their whole new node system, so everything's feels slightly out of date because there's that whole new workflow that's super amazing.
So what techniques are you applying for like Earth and planets and things?
Oh, like just, you know, like the standard stuff, but like with fallout, like a kind of a fall off map to get that glow plus a gradient on half of the Earth so that it looks like there's that true atmosphere, as well as like a separate alpha for the clouds. And, you know,
you're like, I just use orb.
I just use orb. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I was going for.
All right, so we're in like, C4D. Let's go ahead and close that down and open up After Effects.
I mean, it's crazy because orb honestly looks a little bit better. Like it's I'd say that's the best way to get the most realistic looking renders of an Earth or planet is orb. But this is the closest that I've been able to get it, because orb has like the very dynamic, like, you know, when you move the light, everything reacts all at once, including the, you know, map of the lights on the surface, you know, like the nighttime lights and stuff react, as well as like the atmosphere. So it all reacts at once, whereas it's much more difficult to get that to happen in Octane. Like you can set it up with gradients to look right for wherever the light position is, but then if you change the light position, you've got to change all the gradients and orientation manually. So Orb just has some, Andrew Kramer just always puts in those extra, like, you know, extra sexy little things that make the plugin work so smoothly, and it makes me really mad because I wish he would just do that for C4D.
Right.
Yeah.
We
need to get him on the show too.
Totally. We still haven't had him, have we?
I know, right? Like that would be a great show. He said he would do it. We just haven't really coordinated.
You guys had Nick on before, other than like kind of, you know,
Campbell?
One time.
We had him on once. It was
before
back
video.
In the early days. Yeah.
Right.
It was right before
but
half
was that
res
just
or something.
Like that was like a half res or SIGGRAPH thing where he was kind of in the room or something?
It was, it was right. No, it was before
that
half
too.
res.
That too.
Yeah, it was right before half res, and so he was like, you know, he was talking about it and stuff.
I know Chad and Chris have been on a whole bunch, and we need to get Chris on again pretty soon.
Yeah, he's been doing some really cool rocket lasso stuff. I think like he did one that Beeple followed with his most recent render on ragdoll physics.
The SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob SquarePants with Hillary.
Funny story. Amy, my wife, last night she's like taking this extra course over the summer, you know, to get some like credits or something like that. And so one of the questions was, you know, talk about someone who has become a master in their craft, blah, blah, blah. So she writes a whole thing about Beeple, you know, and how he does his everydays. And so she's going through them last night, and she leans over to me and she goes, "What's his obsession with Buzz Lightyear?"
That's funny.
I don't know.
He's just using weird pop culture icons.
I don't know. I just learned about Buzz Lightyear yesterday.
Yep. I've got one more, I've got another thing to plug. So I'm making a tutorial series on 10 ways to make your renders amazing.
Man.
You won't believe what happens next.
You're doing work. You're doing tutorial series.
I know.
You're doing two classes.
The tutorial series is part of School of Motion, so it's dropping on School of Motion's channel. So I'm taking a break from the main course and all that to do this series kind of as a marketing tool for the course itself.
Sure, of course.
So yeah, they're just 5-minute, like really short teasers. And the title sounds like pretty clickbaity, but I'm trying to make it actually good. So the first lesson's on using mood boards and storyboards to prep your renders, but also to enhance the composition. And I packed it in a bunch of composition techniques and before and afters, like for instance, what a render looks like with a bunch of tangents and then without. Do you guys know what tangents are? It's when like objects are just touching and it draws your eye in a really annoying way. So it's not overlapping, but just so stuff like that.
Like
or like
what
vectors,
it looks like vector. Yeah.
Like
the way
if
vectors
you imagine
draw
like,
your eye.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, or for instance, what it looks like when everything is contained within the frame versus what happens when you've got some objects that are breaking the frame, so it feels like a larger world, versus having everything just kind of contained within there and it doesn't feel like there's anything beyond the context of what you're seeing in the frame. Or like how the lighting can enhance the composition and draw your eye, or putting light figures on dark backgrounds or dark figures on light backgrounds, all that kind of stuff. Like rule of thirds, golden spirals, golden ratio, all that kind of stuff.
Free tutorials?
All free, yep.
Tutorials?
Ooh. Tutorials. The second lesson's on choosing your focal length wisely and what different focal lengths will do for your renders, like compressing the background or stretching out the perspective, and how different focal lengths affect movement. For example, like with wide lenses, you get a much greater feeling of speed when moving on the z-axis, or with long lenses, you feel that speed more when you're tracking or orbiting. And then the third lesson's is called Stop Lighting with HDR Eyes Only. So it's just a bunch of lighting breakdowns.
I've been personally attacked.
Good.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't like using HDRs. I don't.
Yeah.
I have
I'm not saying don't use HDRs. I'm saying don't use them alone.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Like they can be great for like individual, like if you've got a sculpt or something or some metallic object, like that's a lot of the time all you need.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't like walk the lights closer or further. When you've got bigger scenes, they just flatten out all the lighting because it's all from an infinite distance away.
Exactly.
And so I show some lighting breakdowns, and like how small or large area lights affect your scene. Like a lot of the time with bigger scenes, you want much smaller area lights to make little pools of light, versus like if you just use a couple and kind of cop out that are much larger, then it feels it's all really soft and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like you're looking at something big. So they can really affect how you're perceiving the scale.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one is like designing shadows into your shot. So like using gobos or off-camera trees or light blockers to craft more shadows into your shot and create like patterns of like light and darkness to add more interest. What's up, Tony?
Crank the gamma though.
Just crank the gamma.
Yeah.
On the HDR.
Oh yeah. If it's flat, just crank the gamma and everything's fine. No, wrong.
Wrong.
And then the fifth one is adding surface imperfections. So just showing like materials building up and how they improve when you add all the maps in there, or dirt shaders, or like how to make a concrete texture with exposed brick. And there's also a section on breaking up texture repetitions by using noises or by layering multiple displacement maps.
Specifically?
I'm using Octane, but it's very general overview and it should be useful to everyone. All these techniques apply to any render engine.
It's hard to do tutorials right now like that because it's like, oh, well, if you use Octane, you're alienating the Redshift people or vice versa.
Right.
And it's like you almost have to use it and just be more generic about what you're talking about.
Yeah. I do show a few little things in Octane here and there, but it's like really quick, like almost time-lapsey stuff, or like, with more VO to just like give an overview, kind of teasing like what we're going to go more into in the course itself. So I mean, I can keep going. There's another 4 or 5 of them, but I don't know if I'm taking up too much time here.
No, you're fine.
No, we got all the time in the world.
All right, sweet.
The Z thing you were talking about, and you brought this up in this the course that you're working on as well, that shot of the train, and I've seen this before, that and it makes sense because of compression, but I never really thought about it that way until I saw that clip where you're moving forward on the train and it shows the different focal lengths.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite examples. So it's just a video showing someone punching into a longer and longer lens and how it feels like everything slows down when you're just moving on that Z-axis, and then when it goes back to the wide, suddenly we're like screaming forwards.
Right.
So yeah, like the focal length really affects the perception of movement, for sure.
Yeah, and having other visual references for things too. You were showing that elevator shot. I forget. Oh, it was in the video you just worked on. Which one was it? It was
Yeah,
the one with
that was dead.
Yeah.
That was dead. Yep.
What it was I want to say cyberpunk, not cyberpunk.
It's steampunk.
It's steampunk.
Yep.
And when you're going up the elevator, showing something in the foreground to get a sense of speed.
Right. Yeah. So there's a moment. So it's basically a shot of an elevator. Yeah, like it starts off feeling really fast because all of the detail is pretty close to the camera, but I didn't want it to be just like that the whole time. I wanted to come out into a clearing and see like a city in the distance. But then when you're out there, and you're seeing for that far distance, the camera feels like it's moving slower. So how do you keep the audience feeling like they're still moving quickly? And so my solution was, rather than having all these beams like occluding everything, I just put them on the sides so that you still see some stuff streaking by with motion blur, but you're still able to focus on the deep background. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds.
That's why I'm enjoying this all these nugs, these juicy nugs so much, man. I just don't have any ideas for anything to implement it with. That's my problem.
Yeah, I mean, and like also just watching your own, like breaking down a movie and being like, I'm going to watch this just for the color. I'm going to watch this just for the edits. I'm going to watch it for the camera movement or the, composition or the lighting. Yeah. Like there's so many different ways you can just take these like amazing films, like even like just Cars 3, which is just not that great of a film. But when when I broke it down, I'm like, holy shit, this is a master class on lighting and on camera movement, and it's just like kind of mind-blowing. So yeah, going back to the tutorials, the next thing I've got is, like you said, using reference, but in this case it's using reference to nail the look of your materials. So like for car paint, for instance, you might not have the idea to use like a clear coat until you look at reference, and then furthermore, you might not have the idea to include a flakes normal map to get that glittery car paint look. So just like really paying attention to the real world to add more and more to your materials. And then there's 3 more. The next one's just volumetrics and how that can help add depth into your renders. But also it can be a curse because it can flatten the light if you're not careful, which is why I often like to push the fog volume back into the scene versus having it taking over the whole scene. So that you can have like that contrast and nice lighting in the foreground, but then like haze in the background. And then there's one on using high quality assets to start with, like Megascans, Kitbash 3D, real displacement textures, 3D scan store, polygon, etc. CCO textures. Do you guys know about CCO textures?
No. What is that?
It's a free site. It's 100% free textures. They're all PBR. And so for my cyberpunk city that I've built for, we'll get into that maybe later, but for the School of Motion course, it's using like 90% CCO textures, and they look amazing. So yeah, like that's
I gotta look that up now.
But yeah, like if you don't want to have a Polygon subscription or something, I mean, it's not nearly as extensive as Polygon. Like Polygon's really important, but it's great for people that are on a budget.
Public domain PBR materials bookmarked. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Totally.
This is nice. This is really nice.
There's also HDRI Haven. That's the other one for free HDRIs that are like 8 or 12K, and they're all free. So very simple. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, the last 2 tutorials.
There's a lot.
I know, dude. It's huge.
How do you bulk download?
I like this. Who is making all of this, and why?
And why? Why are you doing this nice thing for us?
Right.
Yeah.
Popular assets. Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Look at all that.
That's
nice. So I did all the texturing stuff recently. I spent 2 weeks texturing all of these assets for my course that were made by this amazing Italian modeler dude. And yeah, I did it all with CCO textures with a few roughness maps from Travis Davids, but we're able to redistribute all that stuff.
You can preview using Sketchfab. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool. And the last 2 tutorials are going to be on using photographic effects in your renders, like motion blur or various types of bokeh, chromatic aberration, grain, lens distortion, vignetting, all that kind of stuff. And the very last one is on color theory and color grading techniques. So yeah, I'm excited about this series. It's a lot of effort to, like, I thought it was gonna, like, they were kind of trying to push me to do it in 1 week, and there's no way. It's taking like 2.5 weeks because I have to collect all of the different examples, and then I have to do tons of renders. Like I'll do lighting breakdowns that show, here's what it looks like with just an HDRI. Here's what it looks like when I add in the background lights for the volumetrics. Here's the side lighting. Here's, these lights to highlight just the interiors of the shops. And like, so like I'm doing tons of renders along the way to show like good and bad versions of these things, and like just general like lighting or composition buildups and that kind of stuff.
And are you rendering these like as stills or full on moving renders?
Stills.
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's not moving renders. Yeah, that would be like way
take a long time.
Yeah.
Otoy's in the chat. What up, Otoy?
What
I'm
up?
Assuming that's Jules.
It's always Jules.
Yeah.
Hi, Jules.
Speaking of which, on this video, hold on, let me pull this
Where
up.
can people find the tutorials once they're released?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
gonna be on School of Motion's YouTube.
Cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of Otoy, though, if we can do this without getting flagged, hopefully, the ode to Octane
Yeah.
on this van.
The Octane wheels.
It has the Octane wheels
it.
on it. That's got to be on purpose,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, of
Oh
course.
yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, no, Nick did that as a shout out to them. For
Nice.
Sure.
That's awesome.
It's funny.
That's awesome. As soon as I saw that, I was like,
I had fun
okay.
making that environment. Nick changed it quite a bit, but I posted on my Instagram kind of like what it looked like when I handed it off to him, and I made this like road, but then everything is undulating, like the mountains and whatnot. But that was pretty tricky to do because it also connects with the road. So I used fields to give it a fall off where the displacer is only affecting it like further down, away from the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Gotcha.
man.
Then I also like made some volume like God rays, but like with just some spheres. I just put some spheres up in the sky, and just using those little light blockers, it's enough to get God rays. And then like if you just animate like with a random effector, just have it randomly animating those spheres back and forth, like off camera.
Yeah, and they
then
just
you
move
get the
around.
God rays all moving around. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
That's cool.
They did like a behind the scenes video too, where they were talking about the process with Joel.
Oh, yeah.
And, of
Joel
course.
and
It goes to a freaking
This is a
of course
cardinal
it
sin of
goes to- it's
EDM
called-
right
Cardinal
here.
sin of EDM. Yeah.
Yeah, so halfway through this video, Joel was like, and we also brought in some other friends, some familiar faces, and then Nick's like, who? He's like, phone it in, Jesus.
Phone it in, Jesus.
Still calling me phone it in, Jesus.
Oh, I forgot about that. Why did he start saying that in the first place?
Because remember the first time he called me try hard Jesus, and
Yeah.
but when I made that like machine thing and took like 13 hours making that crazy render,
Oh.
and the next day I was like totally burned out and sleepy. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't want to be try hard Jesus anymore. I want to be phone it in Jesus.
It's because we were
And then
working like around the clock.
Yeah, we were, but yeah, then he got pissed off because like my phoning it in still looked good. Like I made some,
Yeah,
VE thing with like lasers, and he was like, "This is phoning it in."
Yeah.
Fuck you, David.
Yeah, I love what they did, like the looped characters sitting
Oh,
there
yeah,
in their
amazing. So good.
seats.
the duck vaping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What room is he in? I don't recognize it.
I
don't-
think
is it his
that's
studio?
his gaming room.
I thought it
his
was,
gaming
room.
but there's
above the pool now.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Because
he's
there's
got a
stairs
new
right
gaming-
here. I thought it was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
room to the side at first. This is where he
No.
did the Fortnite thing, because he had
Oh, it
that.
is?
Yeah, he had this thing behind him here. He's got his
Oh, that's cool.
DJ stuff set up. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll put the links to those in the show notes if you want to check out the behind the scenes on that. And man, we got other stuff to talk about. First of all, let's take a sidebar real quick.
Sidebar.
Okay.
And
Sidebar.
everybody's trying to find things to do and stay sane right now. And so I've been running. David, you've been running.
We've started running. We're running again tonight.
Yeah.
I
It's
am
gonna be our third
static
day.
and staying still. I'm trying to.
You're hoping that will
I'm
allow
trying
you
to cancel out the amount of running y'all are doing by
Yeah.
holding as still as possible.
So many people are starting to run right now. Kevin hit me up this morning. He was like, I went for my first run this morning. So like he's on the run train.
Nice.
You're-
Matt, your solution's going to work great. I'm pretty sure the more still you stay, the more your fat just kind of compacts in on itself in like a density kind of thing, and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like kind of self-implodes. So
Yep.
yeah, it's a great way.
I'll
Yeah.
burn fat by not doing anything.
Yep.
See, okay. How about this? Y'all keep running,
Uh-huh.
and I'll only diet, right?
Okay.
And we'll see
It's a
who learns.
race.
I have
who
done
loses
that.
the most weight.
See,
I
but
have
I'm
done
also
that.
trying to gain some muscle mass by setting up I've got my weights set up in the basement, so I'm doing
Yeah.
some lifting.
Did you get your Fitbit scale so you can look at your lean?
No. Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Cool.
So that helps me not feel terrible when I'm not going down in weight, but it at least tells me that I'm going down slowly in body
BMI.
fat percentage. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It gives you your lean weight versus your total weight.
Which, for that, if anybody's listening, get the Fitbit Aria 2. Like, we thought that the older version that's only like $40 or $50 did that as well, but it doesn't have that feature, sadly. So
That's what's weird.
Got that and sent it back.
Like I had the original Fitbit Aria scale, and it did that. And so I was like, well, just get the first one because it's cheaper. But apparently they took it out.
They took it out and they replaced it with one that has Bluetooth capabilities and is slightly more updated. That they're calling the Fitbit Aria 1, but it's not. They're lying because it doesn't do the BMI thing.
Do you have to have a Fitbit to use it?
No.
Oh, that's
you just
nice.
download the Fitbit app and it records, the stats into your
Gotcha.
into your
You just have to
GPS.
get on the scale without socks because it puts a little electrical impulse through your feet, and
It's
then when you
definitely. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, it knows who you are based on all of those stats. So like it records it to your profile, and multiple people can use it, and it knows who those people are.
Yeah, and it assigns you a cute little emoji. So I'm like the tomato, and Chelsea's the cat.
That's funny.
But yeah, I don't think it's not nearly as accurate as like the kind that they have at the gyms. Like I was back in California, I was at this gym called Fitwall, and they had like a full-on thing where it's like your feet and your hands, and you have to like not eat beforehand and all this
Stay
stuff.
very still.
Right, and it gives you this whole readout of what your fat and lean muscle masses and all these things are doing. So I wonder how much one of those costs. Probably like a crap
fortune.
ton.
How is your first week of running?
It's good. I like it. It's been tricky to get Cyrus to run with us because he kind of like, just kind of bails after the first 5 minutes and says how much it's going to hurt and suck. And
I don't love running.
Neither do
I.
I.
Never loved running.
We got running shoes too.
I quit football in 6th grade because they made us run.
Yeah, I hate running too.
always hated running.
Yeah, it sucks.
I've always felt that way too, but it's cool. I enjoy the process of getting better at something, whether it's adding more weights to whatever you're lifting, or whether it's you're noticing your heart rate is at a lower resting heart rate, Dave, like you were saying, or just like how this app works you up to running more and more lengths.
You're
of
gamifying
durations.
the process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing I enjoy. So I'm like, ooh, I'm leveling myself up.
Yeah. I'm seeing, I ran exactly the same today than I did the other day, but my heart rate was a little lower when I did that on average, which is good. My heart rate has gone from a resting average of 87 down to like 54 or something like that since the beginning of the year.
That's amazing.
Huge difference.
With
Huge
as much
difference.
caffeine as I drink, mine's at like 100.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm glad I quit coffee a couple years ago.
Now you're not doing couch to 5K. You started with the C25. Oh, you did do couch?
Oh no. It's called C25K. Is that not the same thing or
no?
C25K.
Here's the thing. Look, I'm using C25K for their. It's like that's the company, and they make all these different apps. One's for 5K, 10K, and now I'm on the 13.
I'm using the one for 5K right now. Yeah.
Couch to 5K is a great starter app, but it's not the C25 app. It does it a little different.
Okay, cool.
I really enjoyed that, but they have a 10K app, but it hasn't been updated like since the iPhone 5.
Oh, wow.
So I'm on the C25, and what's cool
I'm
is
really liking the one that we're on right now. C25
it's nice.
is cool.
Yeah. And it has music. You can do those. I don't use the music anymore, but it has music you can integrate and all of that.
Totally.
But I'm using a bunch of apps together in combo.
Totally.
Yeah.
Strava and all that.
Yeah. But it's the gamifying thing. It's like, okay, I've got my heart rate down, and then it's like looking at your pace. Oh, your pace was better today. What's your average heart rate? Is your average heart rate going down? And then being able to watch and see it's about learning how to pace yourself, because you watch your heart rate and you try and keep it down for a long time. And maybe at the end you push a little harder because you're like, oh, I'm on the end. I can get my heart rate up to 180, 190 somewhere. But it's just a big hack, It's something where you just get a little bit better each day, and it keeps you accountable. It's not the same as just going out the door and running every day. It keeps you accountable because
absolutely,
and
that's what I'm.
Posting it on social, I think, helps keep you accountable too.
Exactly. Yeah. And I like to try to find ways to make working out more fun. So I used to be addicted to Dance Dance Revolution, and
Yeah.
so we got a third TV, put it in the basement, like got all the stuff to hook up the old PS2, and I've been doing that. And for that I've been noticing I had to wipe all my old scores, which was sad. But like I would see like A, double A, and it would just make me feel sad because I would get like a C on that same song, like compared to how I used to be. So I had to like just delete them all to like have new high scores and try to like beat my own self. So that's been a way to like do cardio when we're not running. It's pretty fun.
And Beat Saber.
And then
Do you have one of the
Beat
big
Saber.
like metal?
no,
ones?
I used
Oh.
to. I did once upon a time. I had a metal
Really?
pad. Yeah. But I don't know. I like the foam ones. I don't like the really flat ones. Those ones are awful. They crumple up. But there are foam ones that are about $80 that feel super nice and squishy to jump around on. And Cyrus like watched me play and he's like, dude, you're doing this thing where your whole upper body is still and then your lower body's going crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's how you know I'm doing it, that I got it back.
Yeah.
What is the game on? Xbox?
PS2.
Oh, PS2.
PS2.
PS2?
It's old.
You
It's
can't
old.
get it
I've
on
got
the new
like
platform?
8 games. What?
You can't get it on the new platforms? Or
No, I mean there's like an Xbox version, but all the best ones are from the PS2. They're the original ones. So like DDR Max, DDR Max 2,
Yeah.
DDR Extreme, Extreme
Yeah.
2. Then there's Supernova, Supernova 2, which Supernova 2 is trash. I've
over
discovered,
9,000
I
version.
had,
but
and
over 9,000.
I had DDR Max, and
Yeah.
but I never had a gamepad.
Oh,
Like
that's sad.
you could always play with the controller.
Oh, that's so
that's
dumb.
boring.
No, it was awesome. Like, I would sit down and I was so good at it. I would just
Nice.
zone
well,
out.
It's not
and
hard
just
to
play.
get good at that. They have this
Yeah.
app on the computer called
Okay.
Stepmania. Okay, I mean like there's some skill to getting good at that. Like it's like Guitar Hero or something like that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will agree with
Sorry,
you
there's
that
no
there's
skill
rhythm
because
and
I'm not
timing.
using my legs.
Yeah, and it's not nearly as good for you. Like
Yeah, that's
DDR
the
is such a
thing.
good workout. Like if you play a freaking hard song, like it's like sprinting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
get
know. I'm
Yeah.
aware.
Yeah.
I
Um,
just I don't run.
But if you like
I don't
that,
like
then you should-
cardio. I've never liked cardio.
Nobody likes
I've
cardio.
I've always enjoyed like weight training and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
weight
lifting
training's-
weights I've always enjoyed.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the whole process of getting dressed,
Mhm.
driving to the gym,
Right, which is
You
why you make
know,
a home gym now.
Right.
That's what-
working out.
It's inspiring
But
us all
still,
to do.
then I don't have any room for a home gym.
But that's
Oh, that's
why
sucks.
running is fun because you just put on your shorts and you go out the door and you hit play on your music.
yeah, and then you walk
Done.
out the door. It's 1,000 degrees, and you walk
Yeah.
20 steps, and you're like, "Oh, my stomach hurts. I gotta go
Have
back
this.
inside."
Yeah.
No,
you
and
know?
then you get it going, and when you're done, you get a little bit better the next day, and you don't feel as bad the next time. And then before you've known
Nah.
it, you run a 5K, and you're like, that wasn't too bad, and I lost
I
40
could run
pounds.
a 5K right now if I wanted to.
Could
Could you, though?
you?
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna run a 5K tomorrow morning.
Do it.
Not
I'm
walking.
gonna run a 5K tomorrow
Running.
morning. No,
Running.
I can't run a 5K. No one
That's
can
what we're-
run a 5K.
That's
Dave
That's
runs a 10K.
impossible.
I ran a 10K a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. It gets your stamina up. You can run
Anyone
without
can
stopping.
do a 5K.
Not
That's
just doing a 5.
easy.
You got to run a 5K. You got to run a 10K.
So,
Yeah.
so speaking about weightlifting, I bought a pull-up bar. I'm just gonna ignore all this now.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
fine.
so I
The
got a
bars
pull-up
are
bar.
Great. How many can you do?
So yeah, I realized I used to be able to do a bunch, like 20, and I got a pull-up bar, and I realized, oh shit, I'm fat now, and I can't do a single pull-up. Like, what the hell am I gonna do
That-
with this pull-up bar?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
That does not change for a long time.
I know you got to work up to it.
Yeah.
I bought a pull-up bar, and
Uh-huh.
I was working out for like a year straight. Like, and
Before you
I
could do a
I
pull-up.
could literally only do 1 or 2 pull-ups, and every
Damn.
single time I walked by it, because I had it in between our bedroom and our master bathroom.
Yeah.
Every single time I walked out of the bathroom, I
Do
would
one.
try and do one.
Nope, still can't.
and nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
So here's my hack though. I saw this on Amazon. You know those elastic bands that are
Uh-huh.
like 10, 20, 50 pounds, yada yada. You get a set
Yeah.
of them. They're really cheap. You attach it to the pull-up bar. Then you get on a step stool and you
Uh-huh.
stick those under your butt so that it creates an assisted pull-up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
so
Okay.
I'm gradually taking weight off of those. So I've taken a 10-pound
That's
band
smart.
off.
That's smart.
So like every week you're you're just kind of upping it until you can do a full pull-up. So yeah.
Yeah,
like
you put a little,
Yeah.
you put your toe on the step stool just a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I kick the step stool away. It's enough, like it holds enough weight that it assists your pull up. It's like one of those machines at the gym where you put a certain amount of weight on it, whether it's the dip bar or the pull up bar.
Counterbalance, yeah.
Yeah, to remove some of that fat that you're experiencing.
Okay, Kevin asked running shoes. I have some old tennis shoes and they need to be replaced. Did you buy some running shoes?
Yeah, we went and got some running shoes. We got them fitted and all that fancy stuff, and they analyzed us on the treadmill. So I got the New Balance ones. Fancy, yeah. They're really nice. They feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what Chelsea and
Cyrus. You get the ones with the curves on the heel, like to shape your butt. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen those? What were they called? I don't know if they make them anymore. They have the rolled heel. You know what I'm talking about?
Some of them kind of support whether you're so Cyrus has a bit of that pronation where he's kind of like his ankles are rolling inwards a bit. So he's got shoes that support that a bit more and prevent that from happening with thicker foam on the outside so that his ankle rolls less, because that can damage you.
Yeah. Last night when I was running, it was really a lot of fun because it's the day after the 4th of July when everybody's blowing off the leftover fireworks. By the way, I feel like there were way more fireworks.
Dude, on the drive home from EJ's, it was like our own personal fireworks show over the highway. They were all going off over the highway. Everyone had their own personal fireworks. It was amazing, actually.
Yeah,
it was so cool to see.
We were down in Houston, and we bought $90 worth of fireworks, shot all of them off.
Nice.
And we were done by like 9 or 10, and the fireworks didn't stop until 1 in the morning.
Oh yeah, all night they were going. And people in their neighborhoods.
Have you seen like those
everywhere.
time lapses? Everybody's been posting time lapses from like LA and everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's funny because the ones in LA are completely illegal, and yet everyone's firing them off because they cause fires there. Yeah,
Same here.
Because brush fires.
My sister-in-law was flying to. We were all in Disney World for New Year's Eve, and they were flying in on New Year's Eve, and they said being above and seeing all the fireworks going off, for the countdown on New Year's Eve was so cool.
I've been on a plane on the 4th before and seen all the fireworks, but it was kind of like that. Cool. We found a place up on the dam that you can see the skyline like 360, and the moon was out in full, which was awesome.
Oh yeah,
it looked so cool. But you could see all around the horizon everywhere, and then there were people on the dam who were setting them off, like huge ones, like right above us. It was awesome. But it's one of those things where I feel like this year, the last thing on anybody's mind is like reporting fireworks or police. They're like,
right,
whatever.
Yeah,
they got other things to deal with at the moment.
Totally.
Yeah.
So even if it's illegal. So last night though, running around, that's what was great is everybody in the neighborhood was firing off their leftovers. I was running for like an hour, and every couple minutes I would get like this show above me. I'm just running in the dark because I have to wait till dark because it's Texas, so I have to wait until dark to where it's only 90 degrees at dark.
Yeah.
But I'm running in the dark, and there's just fireworks popping up everywhere. I'm like, this is fun. I wish I could do this every day. Let's just do fireworks every day.
James in the chat asked, has anyone switched to a standing desk? Yeah, I've got a standing desk, but I rarely make it stand because I'm an idiot. So
me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I've got a standing L desk, which is real cool because it supports all these monitors, and I got the monitor arms, which are really nice too because you can, when you're standing, you can adjust it to the right height and all that stuff.
Yeah, you know what I use it for mostly is to just raise the desk so I could work underneath with the cables and all of that.
Yeah, I do
then...
that too. Yeah, with cable management, it's so convenient.
It is nice. It is nice. Or with you, for me, like it's to get to the computers and stuff. It's hard to get past the desk to get around back here and get to the computers. Unless I just raise the desk so that I can just go under.
Smart.
Yeah.
And I've got, what kind do you have? I've got the uplift desk.
Mine is from
Custom
IKEA.
With cedar. I've got cedar wood.
Ooh. La-di-da. You got the L-shaped though, right?
Yeah, the L-shaped one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This
Mine is just a slab of Carl B countertop put on top of 2 desk drawers.
Oh,
nice.
and David, you got the memory. You got the memory positions on yours, right? So I don't have
it's got
that.
memory positions.
Yeah, mine you have to
this
just
thing's
hold.
nice. This is by far the nicest desk I've ever owned. But wanted to, with the new house, it was time to treat yourself.
Treat yourself, fool.
Treat yourself. Treat yourself 2017.
All right. Links. Got a lot of links here. First of all,
Dave's links.
I did want to mention this because I've been talking to them about this coat of arms. It's coatofarmspost.com. If you go there, they've got a new video out called Rough Cut, and they're putting project files and stuff like that. They've got behind the scenes and things.
Coat of arms what?
It's coatofarmspost.com/BTS. So make sure you check that out. They put all of their behind the scenes stuff on there as well as the project files. I'll try and bring it up here so you can see it on the stream as well. But they did like a whole case study thing. They show how they did it. Yeah. So I'll mute this so that it doesn't interfere with the stream. But they did this little short on here. The rough cut is where the magic happens. That's called rough cut.
Shiny balls.
Nice, looks good.
Check out them shiny balls.
I love shiny balls.
Yeah. So check that out.
It's
got a whole bunch of different styles and themes and yeah, a whole bunch of different styles and themes through the whole thing. So check that out. And then what else? I only had one other thing. Oh.
I had a bunch of links.
Yes, well, I do have those. The only other one that I have here is so I was talking about the virtual production stuff earlier in the show. Somebody posted a really great test of their virtual production. I follow Matt Workman. I know Matt Rittman. Matt Workman's Facebook page
His
with
virtual
all the virtual
cinematography stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also did the cinematography database, which I haven't checked that out yet, but I should.
This one
he's
is somebody's test, and I was like, this looks really good.
Ooh, damn.
Do you see that gym behind him? That little basketball
that
gym?
roughness map on the gym? God damn.
And I'm trying to figure out.
Wait, so
and
that's unreal. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, this is unreal. Okay. This is virtual production.
Oh, but he's on a green screen, like a big
like
wall
a psych.
or whatever. Right?
Yeah, and he's got his phone.
Look, he doesn't have much contact shadows. You can kind of tell.
Yeah.
He got a little bit.
A little
bit. It's pretty good.
But he's like using his phone to like change the scene.
That's sick.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's really good. And then later on in the video, if I could find it, it's funny because he's like taking the basketball in the gym and he's throwing it against the wall so you can see where the green screen is.
Oh, that's interesting.
At some point. It's just a very real... Yeah, there it goes. It's a very realistic look. And I don't know about reflections. You know, like if you walked on that roughness map, I don't know if you'd see anything. But I'm trying to figure out, like, is this kind of like an HDR mixed with stuff? You know, is this an HDR or is this all 3D elements in there? You can see the reflections
They're not really
moving.
moving the camera around very much. Like it's just a nodal. It's a nodal pan right now, so that's a little bit easier.
But the reflections are changing.
I've seen parallax. Oh, they're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the parallax.
But I just don't know if the stuff in the background is all actually, if it's 3D. Welded into, if it's the actual 3D. Right.
It could just be like that the floor is 3D and then they've got kind of a back plate back there.
That's what I'm thinking. Good job, nonetheless. It's really interesting. Good. I wish I had like an empty warehouse to experiment with things like this. But that's all I have.
Get our RV.
Cool.
We'll experiment in our RV.
In the RV, that's even smaller.
In the RV.
Yeah. All right.
I got a bunch of links.
I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
All right.
I do too, but I'm gonna hold it.
Okay.
All right.
I got all your links here. We'll start with this one.
I have actually one final link, which is just a plug of my own, because I don't think we ever talked about that Excision project I did. You know, the steampunk one.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
This one here.
We don't have to do that. We can do that later.
Oh, we can talk about
You're
it
already
while
there.
it's up.
All right,
I'm here.
I don't know. This one was it was super fun. I don't know. I don't have that much to say about it. I mean, I tried to make it one seamless camera move, and it was just an exercise in kit bashing the hell out of everything and finding all the best Turbo Squid assets as well as the Kit Bash 3D steampunk stuff. And like this first scene here was just so difficult to fit everything in with the VRAM. I ended up having to like delete a bunch of the steampunk buildings and make sure all my instances were right. And I just wish that Octane had that instances thing set up, because that would have saved my ass. And out of core is always like kind of spotty with me. Like on this recent project I did for School of Motion, it worked amazingly, and I was like 4 gigs out of core and nothing crashed. But then I like went back and with the most recent update, I tried to re-render some things from that project, and it just crashed. It's like the exact same everything, and like so out of core just sometimes works and it just sometimes doesn't, and it's hard to figure out why.
That's so weird.
But yeah, this was
I haven't had very good luck with that either.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Yeah, man, you are so big into like doing everything straight out of the camera. Now I know there's like reflections and stuff on the side in this particular scene, in those little side windows, but like some of it, it's like
all of it's straight out of the camera, man. None of this is composited.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I would not be doing that. I totally would be like the one, like all this foreground stuff. I would be just like.
Yeah. So the reason I did that is because I wanted the foreground to interact with the lighting properly, and I didn't want to have to fake that. So I just kept all that foreground geometry attached to the camera.
This is your work, right?
Yeah, this is mine. This scene was fun because I like animated how it speeds up and slows down to the beat, and then how the wheel kind of reacts to the beat. This cliff here was tricky because I started with a torus, and then I added like displacers and then displacement on top of that, and it tore apart on the caps. I couldn't get the caps working right until I used Octane's new vertex displacement. So the caps alone had vertex displacement, which saved my ass on that one. And then this is my typical, like, as during the build, make it spin faster and faster.
Who is this for?
This is for Excision. This is actually their most chill song, even though it's like, at this point, like on the drop. This VDB is from Production Crate, which is a company in San Diego that does a lot of stock assets, and they sent me these. One of my buddies. So this is like a big tornado VDB in the background. And here there's actually little robots on the end of those Gatling guns that are like reacting with IK to the gun shake, but it's hard to see because they're so small.
Man.
Jules said it doesn't tell us when it fails to lock the memory either. That's why it can randomly fail and not give us warning. Working with Microsoft on this, by the way. So that's awesome.
Oh, that's
that out of core has issues with the OS page locking memory system, which can fail if the OS can't give us that amount of memory.
I wonder if that changes at all with this new scheduler update thingy that we were talking about earlier, if that's related or not.
Anyway, cool.
Does it annoy you that the thing turns in times in which it doesn't turn? Isn't actually turning?
What are you talking about?
You've got the steering wheel or whatever turning left, and it's not turning left.
Oh, shut up! No, it does. It turns. It turns the direction that it's moving. I'm pretty sure.
Not every time.
Not every time. Well, I don't know. Maybe I screwed it up a few times.
No, I'm just.
He's giving you a hard time.
Come on, man.
Or what is this learn
that
squared
one was
thing?
That one was fun. The last thing about Excision was it was like a 4.5K render, so it took like at least 2 or 3 weeks to render all that.
Good lord.
That's pretty standard with the concert visuals. All of Zed was 4K. Keith Urban was 5K. Like it's just it takes a lot of GPUs, and a lot of the time they expect you to do it yourself. So for all of those, I mostly did it myself. Those Zed, I sometimes got to use their farm, but mostly I had to render it all myself.
Were they paying for any render time?
No, I just fold that into my day rate.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So this style frames course, this is by Xiaolin Zhang, or Xiaoyo is what he goes by online, whichever you want to call him. But there's I started it recently. There's a ton of insane texturing work he does right at the beginning. He creates like a complex stone shader with different bump and normal maps on the edges and mixing a bunch of different textures together to make it like you wouldn't think. You're like, oh yeah, stone texture, that's easy. Just throw down a concrete and add a bump. But no, he like really goes in detail and makes it sick. And it just seems like an amazing course. This is the guy that did the Pause Fest 2017 titles with that cat. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And then as well as a ton of work with Somai. And he also did the Off Milano 2018 titles, which you might not remember, but they're amazing. And they have this like green, like very foggy look. So yeah, he's one of these really amazing artists in China. And they had some, because, his English isn't maybe that great. They had someone overdub it. And so yeah, it's crystal clear, and definitely recommend this course.
I recognize that.
Yeah, everybody uses that. You used that for the
Yeah,
Houdini
we did.
course. Too.
Oh, this is the okay, nice.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, what else we got here? Let me go back to my list. I got all the things. So you
All the
got
things.
style frames course. All right, let's talk about these two Gumroad.
Yeah, so Calder Moore is one of my buddies, and he's like one of the best people at digital nature or environment creation stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, along with like Aaron Westwood's another one of my favorites, and Josh Pierce. But this is like a 13-hour course that I went through for only $75, showing how to make this whole scene, his process with mega scans, his process with integrating things and adding variation and using fall off nodes and dirt maps and everything, and then just assembling a really beautiful composition. He also shows how to build a castle and how to destroy it, and then how to like make castle walls and all sorts of techniques. Like he's so good at this stuff, and he does this procedural clips thing as well.
Have now with all these tutorials and series and stuff that you're going through, are there ever times where you're watching it and people tell you to do something a certain way and you're just like, no, that's not the correct way to do it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm watching certain beginner YouTube people or whatever, then I'll be like, oh, that's a not very good way to do it. But you know, there's a lot of the times there's multiple ways to do something.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. Like whatever your process is cool.
So there's that, and there's another one too. It's got two different courses, right?
Yeah, this second one is creating rivers using C4D and Octane. I haven't gone through it yet, but it seems really awesome too. And he does all the same kind of stuff that, or he does some of the same techniques that I do, like using a dirt shader to create foam just around wherever the rocks and things pool. But yeah, his renders are just so beautiful. He's got such a mastery of composition and all that.
Are you doing
And
like
lighting.
a dirt shader mixed with like
Just a diffuse, like a white diffuse in order to get the foam is what I do personally. And the dirt shader, you know, just finds wherever that water surface is contacting rocks or the riverbed. Though it looks like he might also, here he's showing painting vertex.
Vertex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though, yeah, that's for maybe like the wet maps showing like, you know, creating a darker material with less roughness and more specularity probably on those edges where it would be wet. Yeah, dude's good.
Maybe I should try this since I have like zero creativity flowing through me and motivation. Maybe I should just try doing some courses instead.
Yeah, man.
It's not a bad idea.
A great way to kickstart your creativity. Some new techniques.
For real. All right, now this one, style frames. This is YouTube. Oh wait, is this the same?
We already did the style frames one.
Sorry, I clicked on the wrong link. Modeling
the YouTube one,
retro electronics.
Yeah, this is interesting. So I haven't taken this yet, but this is all free, a free course called Modeling Sci-Fi Retro Electronics with Substance Designer. So at first I was like, those textures don't look that great. Like, where's the roughness map? Where's the surface imperfections? And then I realized that it's all displacement textures.
Yeah.
So it's a cube, and he's created these sci-fi retro electronics all in Substance Designer, like done the modeling all in Substance Designer. It's like, whoa, dude, that's cool. So yeah, that's something I really want to get into as soon as I'm done making my course, which won't be until December of this year, probably, unfortunately. But yeah, so this guy is named Sem Tezcan, and you know that those renders that everyone was obsessed with for a little while that looked like they were from the late 80s or early 90s, and they have this like front lit onboard flash look, which makes them even more photoreal. That's this guy.
Is he the one he did it was like a computer like an old Commodore. It was like a Commodore sitting on a desk.
Look at the next link. It's his art station, and that'll show you the actual renders.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let me take a look here. Let's see, art station. Yeah, this is exactly the one that I was thinking of.
Yep.
Commodore with all the discs. I thought it would be fun to do this with my old computer.
Okay. Yeah, this is in my tutorial as well that I'm releasing, the free tutorials, because I'm like, don't front light things. But then I like contradict myself. I'm like, I can think of one time that I've seen it look really good, and it's not that this is good lighting. It's meant to look like an onboard flash, like an old photograph. Exactly. But it makes it feel a lot more photoreal. It's a really interesting look.
That, or like you have a weird ring light on the camera or something.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ring lights are more okay, I feel.
All right, what else we got here? We've got this
Last one.
Australia thingy.
Memories in Australia. So you are gonna maybe shit yourself, but this is unreal.
This is unreal.
Yes.
Man.
So this guy his name is Andrew Hamilton, and he worked on like the Battlefront games, and I think his job is to go around and scan everything. He just does 3D scans for a living.
Oh my god.
And so this is his personal collection that he's developed over the years, I guess mostly from Australia. So he's basically his own mega scans at this point, and it's freaking ridiculous.
Man.
Yeah.
This
This kind of thing just makes me so
How
mad.
did he scan that kangaroo?
Yeah.
I don't think the kangaroo is scanned unless he went to like some taxidermy store and then, or place and rigged it or something.
Could be fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I cannot
Just
believe
those
this.
tree shadows. I love how the light comes in here. I don't know if that's an effect or whether that's just literally the light getting blocked by the trees.
Yeah.
Man. The one thing you don't get a lot of is motion blur. I feel like in some
Unreal
of these,
has motion blur.
It does, but it has kind of that.
Not quite as good.
Yeah, it's that fake motion blur.
But look at these cliff walls. Like everything about them is unique. Like you can't see any repetitions whatsoever.
Yeah. You just wait until
and this murky
Unreal
water
5.
here. I know, right? The murky water looks so good, and
See,
those little
something-
shafts of God rays coming down.
Yeah.
Is there something about Unreal to y'all that just like, it's just not quite there? You know,
Well, I mean, it's
like
real
this,
time,
Don't get me
you know?
wrong.
No,
This
this
looks
to me
fantastic.
looks as good as any Octane project I've ever seen.
You
Like,
think so?
yes, 100%. I can't, like, my eye cannot tell the difference. This looks better to me, and a lot of that's just like it's the lighting, it's all the textures and the detail, and like building out a really nice environment. Like, obviously, the rendering technology is not quite as good as Octane, but
Right.
like, to my eye, I can't tell that much. At least in this project. In lots of projects, it's like, okay, that looks like some video game trash right there, But this one, because it's all 3D scans,
Oh, that's
you
a
can
cool
get away
shot.
with it.
With
That's
the
such
tent.
a cool shot.
Pretty.
Yeah, the one light in the tent that's lighting up everything, and then like how the stars like fall off to that haze on the horizon. That's pretty hard to do too. That's something I struggle with a lot of the time in Octane, is like creating like a nice haze, in the deep background, to not just have like that hard line for the horizon line where it doesn't look like there's any environment fog there. So yeah.
Got even more links from you. Oh, I hit the wrong button.
You do?
Here you go. Oh yeah,
What's this? Oh yeah, I forgot about this one.
I got a whole bunch
Oh
more.
god. Oh shit, I forgot that I bombarded you with a bunch more links. So yeah, this is the Evangelion or whatever it's called, which is like that anime series that everyone loves, and Somai made it into a full product, movie for, I think it's for one of the Oppo phones. But here, I think this is his short. He like turned it into a short.
Interesting.
Just that excludes the phone itself. It's just super sick. Like the way like the robot, he's got the movement of it so nice, where it feels like this massive like Pacific Rim type deal,
Yeah.
And he's got that like kind of anime, like these titles that come up that have grain and scratches and stuff, and yeah, super fun.
And you have the Amazon original opener.
Oh yeah. So this is Simon Holmedal.
Oh really?
It's freaking beautiful. So that's the final. That's the final, and it goes by fast. But watch the process video. Watch how many. Watch how many examples or how many different takes they did to try and please Amazon to get to that final. This is what's crazy, is all these explorations.
So wow. So they just.
It's all Houdini.
Yeah, of course, with Simon.
Of course, Simon. But yeah, that glass and the colors refracting in there is just freaking beautiful.
Man, is this Octane?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I was curious with the glass.
And then like gets into this other particle look, which is equally crazy. I can see why they went with the glass. Like that's my favorite look as well. Like here's the particles.
Him and those particles, man.
They're so damn good.
So many explorations that he does. Just
like the glittery particles. That's my favorite.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I recently did a project with particles, and I to get that glittery look, you can for sure have them be metallic and whatnot.
Right.
But another way is to just create a lot of variation where some of them are white, like only a few of them are white, and then the rest are like kind of a darker color, and that makes it kind of simulate that glittery look.
Because that's gonna give you crazy render times if you're trying to.
The metal, I don't know about that. I mean, the project I was doing, they just didn't want to go with the metal look, but you know, for whatever
I
reason.
thought maybe you would start getting a lot of noise and stuff if you were trying to do a bunch.
There's
of
a lot more, you know, reflections going on for sure with the metal.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's crazy.
what else we got here? Just a few more.
Impulse says, I bet Amazon didn't pick the ones with the particles because of video compression. I can
Oh,
see
They
that.
just watched it on Dropbox and they're like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't like this. Looks
This
too
is cut off.
blocky.
There's something cut off here. It doesn't work right. Yeah, are you watching it on? You're watching it on Dropbox.
Did you download it?
Did you download it?
That's
Yeah,
with those
every
bigger clients. Maybe it's smart to just not even do Dropbox. Just send them frame IO links or something.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
the trick,
Or-
right? You add the one.
Yeah. So you
What is-
send the
oh, okay.
Dropbox link and you change
And
the
it can't
0 at the
play.
end to the 1, and
Oh,
it'll
that's-
automatically download it.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
This one. Tell us about this one here.
Oh yeah, so this is Lewis Orton. He's another Houdini artist, and this is the prettiest flower opening I have ever seen.
That's
And
pretty
then
You
he
couldn't
does-
tell me that that's not real.
Yeah, and then he does this, but then it becomes not
Yeah,
real
okay.
intentionally. Yeah, so cool.
That's
Man.
neat.
Yeah,
And then
I'm gonna have to do a flower opening project pretty soon on the weekends here, and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna get anywhere near that level of good.
And then this one is called Pyramid.
Oh yeah, this is something I think my buddy Gruyun Kim posted. One of his friends just went freelance, and he does some really, really solid work. I'm not sure if he's in South Korea or China or what, but this is just, I don't know, it's just really pretty. I don't have a ton to say about it other than nice compositions and cool.
You
like,
get all these cool foreign works and stuff because you follow everyone on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that is a real person, right?
That was some compositing for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool looking. And then what else?
I think that should be it.
Is that it? I thought you sent me one last. Oh no, you sent me your site. Yeah, so that covers it.
Yeah,
Man,
just
we've gone
excision.
2 hours already.
Oh,
Yep.
snap.
Good lord. Short
Just
show.
always a short show with me.
Yeah. Do we have anything
Because I
else to
take
talk
notes and then we're like, oh, damn it.
about? Yeah. that really is it. I don't have anything else on.
I mean, I can mention a little bit more about my School of Motion course real quick.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So the course is on digital cinematography, and our working title is Lights, Camera, Render. And the main themes are composition, lighting, and camera movement, as well as a big section on transitions, like whip pans and match cuts and all that. But the secondary themes are texturing and environment builds. So hopefully integrating all that stuff. I thought it was going to be like a 40-hour course, but I think they're trying to figure out what the optimal, number of hours is for students to not get left behind. So it's probably going to be around 33 to 35 hours around that mark.
That's awesome.
So far I've done a really fun short that I can't show yet, but it's called Down on the Render Farm.
Looks amazing.
It's amazing.
And West
I mean, I
West
haven't
did
seen
the
it.
sound.
No,
Yeah,
I haven't
West
seen
did
it
the
either.
sound design for it, and the composition, and he totally brought it to life. Like that's the first time I've
Yeah.
actually had someone do proper like composition and sound design on one of my projects.
From
so that was really fun.
Sona Sanctus.
Sona
Sanctus.
Sanctus. Yeah.
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 But yeah, the concept is basically it's a bunch of like EJ and I were tossing back and forth titles for this is just for the weekly recap, which is just the video that comes before students get like critiqued for the week. Like they submit their homework, and so it's just a fun little video, and it's only really supposed to be 15 seconds, but I went ape shit with it and made
course you
it
did.
close to a minute. Went overboard. But yeah, EJ, our ideas were like another one I had was called Path of Illumination because it combines path tracing and global illumination, but this one just visually was going to work the best. So it's called Down on the Render Farm. And, it started with just the thought of like, oh, let's have like a farm and then some GPUs plugged into the farm or whatever. But now it's like, it's a bunch of robots working on the farm, and there's GPU corn and all these different crops with like GPUs in them and like wires and servers and things.
The server's
And
my favorite part.
Cool. And robot cows that get abducted by aliens and a bunch of other fun stuff. But yeah, so that was really fun to do. And then the next thing we did is hired this guy named Giuseppe Sarchi, who's probably the most badass modeler I've ever worked with. And in about a month and a half, he built this whole cyberpunk city, as well as flying cars, a spaceship, a lunar base, and this killer sci-fi tunnel. And then I went crazy on texturing everything for a couple of weeks and assembling like a full scene. But I'm still not done with that because I've got to add in all the props and street level details and a ton more graffiti. And Chelsea's helping me on the graffiti by creating like pleasing looking graffiti. And then, I'm projecting that onto the geometry, like the Cornelius Domrich technique. So yeah, that's going to be badass. And we're giving all this away to students, as well as sci-fi characters and aliens from CG Trader, an alien mothership, and a bunch of other spaceships, a cockpit, Travis David's 250 displacement textures, and his roughness maps, and his VDBs, and then the Cyberpunk Kit Bash 3D mini kit, along with a city kit and hard surface kit from the Pixel Lab, and some assets from the French Monkey, and real displacement textures, and puddle maps from the Dizzy Viper. So we've got like a ton of assets that are probably worth more than the value of the course that we're giving away to students and redistributing. So that's pretty nuts. And hopefully we'll increase the value of the course. And they're going to take all of that, and it's going to be like a playground for them to make their final project, which is going to be a short film of an alien invasion in a cyberpunk city, complete with like aerial dogfights and soldiers on the street fighting aliens, like the works. But we're going to gradually work up to that. It's not going to be like, boom, you have to be good at Cinema 4D and Octane already and all this stuff. It's going to be like very gradual build, starting with composition and just like doing just viewport rendering, really, and then moving into texturing and your first lighting stuff on like just a logo, and then moving on to like bigger scenes like the cutouts. We're going to do one that's like the cutouts of my like what was that project called? you know the one I'm talking about with the wood and all that. It was Feel Me or something like that.
Feel Me. Yeah.
Feel Me. Just feel me.
Just feel me. Yeah.
Just the weirdest names for my videos. Walk with you, walk away, and feel me.
Feel me. Space.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yep, space. There's gonna be a lot of space too. So
I got a question for you. I love space stuff. Okay.
Yep.
I love space 3D stuff. Space Cinema 4D Octane stuff. I've always felt like I don't want to do it because everybody is doing it.
Yeah.
Should I do it?
Just do it. Have fun. Like explore that. Like, everybody's doing cyberpunk and I decided to do my own version of cyberpunk. It's just fun to explore and like, everybody's doing the digital nature stuff, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. It's like good to get those techniques under your belt. Good to have a variety of styles that you're comfortable with tackling. Space is just a setting. It's a place where you can make any story happen you want. So
I got to do a lot of nature stuff because I worked on that project with you, which I had to learn your techniques specifically in your workflow. So I feel like, okay, well, I got a chance to do that. So I don't have the bug on that. I got the bug on the space thing because I still haven't done anything with it. And like there's that, I forget what it's called. It's there's a site where you can download all these space tracks for audio. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's what is it called? Maybe I can find it. Maybe I have it saved somewhere. But essentially, it's the kind of audio you would hear in like an epic space. What's the one with?
Probably like Interstellar or something like that.
Interstellar. Well, there's Interstellar. What's the other one called? It's called with Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I never saw that one.
I'm gonna look it up now. Just completely.
Is there a NASA spooky space down?
Ad Astra.
Ad Astra. Yeah, I never saw that one yet.
That one's. I don't know. That one's good, but it's not. I don't know. It didn't feel as good as Interstellar to me. I felt like it could have gone a different way.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
If I go, I don't know. I'll try and go to my saved stuff to see if I could. Here, it's called Film Crux. So it's those big, weird, almost like they call them burrs, or they call them. Oh, let's see. They have names for all of these sounds. They're called Brahms. Brahms. Like these maybe they're not
Intense.
tubas, maybe they're baritones, like really hard, like one note
Yeah.
baritone hits, and you just
Sometimes I bet
you
it's
know.
like a synthesizer as well. You can probably
Yeah.
digitally recreate a lot of that stuff.
Oh, for sure. But it's called Film Crux. Here it is. It's called Singularity Cinematic Sound
cool.
Effects Library. 400 sound effects, hits, risers,
Nice.
whooshes, brongs. It's one of those things where you
That's the perfect thing for your space short.
you see a shot of like a big or a planet or something, right? And then they cut to a massive space station above it, right? And you hear
Yeah.
brong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how else to describe that. I'll bookmark this here, put it in the show
It's
notes.
It's the brown noise.
Yeah, it's the brown noise in space. If the brown noise is hit in space, does anybody
you
really hear it? Does anybody really
anybody
poop themselves?
Right. Good question.
Because there's
Science.
Yeah, science. And now that we're to the brown note, maybe we should wrap up
Yeah,
the
we
show.
should probably just wrap this up. 'Cause
Okay.
the next thing that made me think of was that Rick and Morty episode on the train, and we got into a very improper discussion about that at EJ's house. You know what I'm talking about?
Which part?
About-
The train episode. I thought the train.
Yeah,
episode was
I'll tell you
great.
guys after the show.
Not
'cause
as
it's
good as
just-
not as good as the vat of
Oh,
acid.
the vat of acid episode
The
is
vat
the
of
best.
seen
acid
that yet.
episode is so good.
I have not
Yes.
seen that yet. I'm still behind, but yeah.
It's one of those episodes where they go off on a tangent to a whole nother story for like half the episode and come back.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah.
when
Nice.
he was playing the Roy game.
Yeah.
Right.
yep.
Right.
Yeah.
He's taking Roy.
He's taking him off the grid. He has no social
taking him off the
security
grid.
number. I like that Rick was talking to everybody around him while he was playing Roy.
Right.
Right.
Nobody really ever mentions that.
That's funny. Yeah, he's just so like not affected by the game and
Yeah.
always knows what real reality is that he's just like
Yeah.
whatever.
Where's my wife?
Where's my wife?
You
great.
survived cancer and then went back to work at the carpet store.
Lame. He
Nice.
gets back in the ship after they run over all those what are they called? What's the name of the aliens? Just love killing
I
those
don't know.
bugs. And he was like, "Come on, carpet boy."
I don't remember that part. That's funny.
So yeah, nothing left here. Just make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. It went out this morning. I think we had a
Yeah.
really good newsletter.
Yeah, we got a lot of we got a few subscribers.
We did a
on our-
lot of
on our
stuff in 1
YouTubes.
month.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked about when we're going to do another Hues of Mograph. We're working on getting people scheduled right now, but we're also scheduling around some of the other live events and things that are happening, as well as me trying to buy a house. So we
Yep.
are looking at August for that. We're trying to lock in dates with the speakers that we've been talking to. Matthias is going to work out the deets for us, so we'll let you know when we find out about that and we get a date. And yeah, keep checking online, and I put a lot of stuff out there, resources and everything based on the shows, and so hopefully that's useful for people. I don't know. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review. Helps get our ratings up. Also subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. You can say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb Feel the Babb 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders, the Render Things t-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee. And then lastly, the one that Ariew is wearing ironically right now. That render is
Super
fire.
ironic about it.
Super.
You can just feel the irony pouring off of me.
Yeah, especially when it's wrinkled and you have to iron it.
Oh God.
You're only allowed to iron it iron on ironically.
And after November, we're gonna have to change the Paul Babb
Ironically.
shirts
Yes.
if
what
he
do we do?
doesn't win. If he
Well,
doesn't
yeah.
win,
Right.
I think it needs to be Bab Rabinowitz 2024.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
or Bab
Rabinowitz.
Omatola 2024.
Nice.
Well,
You
with
know,
all this
We'll
real
ask him-
time,
We'll have to ask him who he wants as his running mate.
Babatola.
but with all this real time stuff going on with Unreal and all that, I think we just advocate for rendering only, and we'll just say make rendering great again.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Make rendering great again.
Yeah. We'll do hats. We'll do red hats and say make
Oh.
rendering great again.
God. Murga.
No.
Murga.
Murga.
Well, we should come up with a great. Yeah, we'll figure something out. That'll be fun. And
funny.
yeah, that's it. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Mograph.com. Make sure you subscribe. make sure you get in there to the Slack. The Slack has decided, hey, we're going to get on board the free train for a while, like Discord does, and allow for everything to be available. So we have a free trial.
Here's what happened. No. Here's what happened.
Oh.
Some random slacker signed up for something that caused the entire Slack to get a free trial because they did something. So now we all have a free trial of the full version of Slack for 90 days. And I'm really hoping that we don't have a credit card attached to this Slack, because if they do, it's going to cost us $73,000 per month.
Are you serious? Is that what it would cost?
That's
it would cost.
How did you even justify that?
Sage was doing the math, and he was like, "Oh yeah, so I just did the math. It would be $73,000. You need to make sure that you don't have your credit card attached to it."
No.
I'm pretty sure we don't.
No. We don't have anything attached to it. We would have had no reason to. Just as long as, I mean, it wouldn't go through unless you got the Amex on it. So just make sure the Amex isn't on it.
Yeah.
Because that would suck. And by the way, you got 30 days to pay that off.
Yeah. Jeez. All right, everyone. I'm gonna need some donations.
Right.
From each of our users.
We're doing another Matt Plays Super Mario.
There you go. Yeah, you'll really have to ramp up that gaming channel.
Review cereal for a week long.
Right.
It'll take a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
What do we raise? $3,000? We're gonna have to do a lot more than that.
I'm just gonna do a full-on talent show.
Yeah.
I'll play DDR.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You need to be streaming DDR. Oh my gosh.
That'd be funny.
No! Yes.
But you gotta set up a green screen and everything. You gotta really do it.
So I'll have and then I can do the 3D motion design for arrows coming at my face or something.
Yeah.
In this void of space tunnel.
You got to get one of those little converter boxes so you can play Halo with us. If we can get Jeremy to do one too, or Cameron, we can all stream.
We could all do a four player all at once.
Get our asses handed to us.
Yeah.
Just be the shame of the Mograph.
That's
you
just
won't.
Because you're
we will.
Good. You bring our level so far up that it's hard for us to compete because I'm so bad.
Yeah, the matchmaking goes with the highest rank, right?
What?
The matchmaking goes to the highest rank.
It definitely seems like the moment I hit diamond rank, shit got really hard.
That's when we were playing and we lost 6 games in a row.
No, it wasn't 6 because I would have gone back to platinum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3, but then we're like, all right, time to call it for the night. But yeah, Cameron's almost at diamond as well. So maybe if both of us hit diamond, then, we'll stand a chance.
Bright like a diamond?
Shine bright like a diamond.
Bright like a diamond? All right.
Nice.
We're going to get out of here. Make sure that you check out Matt's YouTube so that you can watch us play video games later this week. Maybe this afternoon.
The username is MC Milstead.
Okay.
So I may need to change that. But on Twitch, you can either watch Twitch or you can watch YouTube. YouTube, it'll be MC Milstead. Twitch, it's Matt Milstead.
And you're doing the streaming, so I get to just show up.
Yeah, I'm actually doing the streaming. I'm very excited about it.
We should do it, but it should be on the official Mograph channel. That way, we'll have we can have Mograph discussions as we kill people.
The
thing is, if we put it on the Mograph channel, then it's you're going to have so many videos of us just gaming, which may be boring to people. And you got to sort through that to get to
I just meant one time.
Yeah, we could do a sub channel.
You do a Mograph game. Can you do a sub channel?
I think so. I think you can. I don't know. We'll check it out. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
But as far as testing goes, we'll use Matt's, and if it becomes popular, we'll do something.
Go subscribe to MC Milstead.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't see how this can be different than anybody else playing video games, which the internet is already flooded with. But hey, we can feel special.
It's motion. We have an audience already.
Anyway,
we will be the first motion designers.
Yeah,
first
exactly.
3D motion designers streaming our video game playage.
Yeah. And we can talk about the specular on things and be like, look at the specular on this.
And how, when we get those awful low poly levels, and then somebody noticed Cameron noticed the intersecting geometry.
Yeah. We'll just critique Halo levels.
And then I just couldn't stop staring at it and got killed a bunch of times.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we were all gathered around. That was what was funny. We were all gathered around lking at the bad geometry, and then the other team came up and started attacking us. I want to be the voiceover guy for making the dying sounds.
Yeah. Gotta get some splutter in there, some, like wet sounds.
Here's the part of the show where we just make sound effects for the next
Yeah.
half hour.
Those are free sound effects. You can clip those from the show and
Yes.
use them in
Yeah.
any of your pieces.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We
We
give you
recorded them with our
full
wonderful
rights.
Creative
microphones.
Commons, open
quality.
with for reuse with modification.
Yes.
Nice.
Make that your ringtone. Imagine getting on an elevator. Yeah. You get on the elevator and it's just like your phone starts going off and everyone's looking at you. All right.
Oh, sorry. My wife's calling.
Yeah.
Hey, honey. Oh, I love you
Hey.
too.
Oh, hey. All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here.
Text message.
Yeah. I said all the things already. I don't think there's anything else left. We're to the bad sound effects portion of the show, so it's over.
That's over.
All
The
right.
best part of the show is when we're trying to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just having too much fun.
Yes.
Can't end it. All right. We're gonna get out of here.
David, where can people find you?
Oh yeah.
You can find me at my site, arievvisuals.com, or David Ariev on Instagram, or David Ariev on Twitter. LinkedIn. No, I hate LinkedIn. I don't know.
LinkedIn sucks.
ARIEVVISU. Yes.
Yeah,
No
because
W.
the two W's make a V, so that you pronounce my, or the two damn it, the two V's make a W,
Yeah.
so you pronounce my name right.
That's
Yeah.
why it's Ariev. It's like
Yes.
two V's, not
You
are
also
you
own
going to the mall later?
I
Do
do
you
own-
also own Ariev with a W
Yeah, I do.
visuals?
I do.
Okay.
Okay, good. If not, I'm
Good.
gonna squat on it, charge you $1 million.
Yeah. Oh man,
All right.
that's fun.
Until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm David.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little.